Okay, y'all. First of all, this was Courtney's idea. I'm just saying. This was so these shirts right here, if you didn't see in the thumbnail, I'm gonna hold it overhead in just a second. These shirts have been all over the place. I guarantee if you get on Etsy right now and search crew neck sweatshirt, this design's gonna pop up. This is a trending Etsy design. We have resources that let us know things that are trending. This is something that pops up all the time. And it's not just the anti-social mom social club. It's like any social club. So whatever you do, if you're a pickleball girly or guy, it could be pickleball social club. Lauren liked one that I designed the other day that was Margarita Social Club.
Absolutely.
And then like I made one the other day that said Rocky Top Social Club. So when you start designing these, it's so fun because you can customize them like to whatever hobby or whatever thing, like iced coffee or I don't know. There's just different things that you can kind of correlate to these. But let's go overhead so I can show you exactly what we're going to be doing today. So this is the project. Now we're going to be using Canva to create this entire design, but we're going to be intertwining SVGs and PNGs today, okay? Because we're wanting to do this really intricate, like, piece right here. This has a lot of detail. It's not something I want to sit. I mean, can you imagine weeding those rib cages out? No, thank you. I'm going to show you the easiest way to get this, and I'm going to talk about how to match your offset color to your sweatshirt, and I'm going to talk about how to do the arch text. We're going to do font pairing. I love it. I think it's so cute. I'm going to sit this to the side, and y'all, you really don't need a whole lot of supplies. So we've got a sweatshirt here. This is my favorite crew neck sweatshirt, is the Fruit of the Loom, or the Hanes is really good.
Yes.
A Gildan is really good, but honestly, you pick whatever you like.
So are you creating another anti-social mom club today, or are you creating another social club one?
We can do another social club one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, we can do another. Listen, maybe whoever gives me the best social club idea.
Oh, I was going to make you do the margarita one for me to wear on the plane on to vacation.
Well, this is a small sweatshirt.
Okay, never
It's all we had
mind.
left. And this one's a medium. So I was like, well, who's going to, maybe I think Courtney can wear the medium.
Yeah. Courtney
This is the only size we had. So any small moms out there? Hello. Okay, so if you guys can give me the best social club, we're going to use that one today. I think that'll be really fun. So drop it in the comments. I want to see what you're going to do. Then he said, are you going to make the same exact thing? Or you're going to customize it. We're going to customize it. I'm going to use the same fonts. We're just going to use like a different image and maybe different sayings. So you need a sweatshirt. You need some white HTV or whatever HTV complements your sweatshirt. I've got a Teflon sheet here. This is for my, my printable DTV. So we're using Caesar Easy Color DTV. If you're like, what the heck is that? I've linked everything in the description for you guys. So if you need any of these products, they're going to be linked in the description. Okay. And then I've just got a light grip mat. You can use a standard grip as well. And then I've got a weeding tool. So, and you just need your Cricut. You do need a printer if you're going to be using the Caesar Easy Color, but y'all, you don't have to do as detailed of an image as I did like with the skeleton. You could use a more simplified image, but we'll look at those when we get into Canva. That way you guys can kind of help decide what you want. So everything we have is here. So let's just jump into design space.
Yes.
So what we're gonna need to do, I wanna show you guys my design, my original design. So if you're just logging into Canva, this is gonna be your home screen. Now, sometimes I like to revisit my projects and I'm like, where do I go? Well, you can scroll down here, but if you're ever somewhere else on Canva's website and you're like, how do I get back? You can go to this little 3 bars over here and select projects, and that'll take you to it. And then like all of your recent ones are just right here. And then there's folders. I'm just learning how to use folders because I just am bad about not using them. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff on our Canva. So let's just look for through our designs and find this one. Let's see here. Man.
Let me see.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Good.
Good. Okay. And I also want y'all to know that there was a few different ways I thought about doing this shirt. And I thought, well, we'll do DTF. We were going to do like the DTF powder and all that. And our printer would not work for me. And I get really angry at printers. Like, I don't get angry at a lot, but printers make me angry. They just strike a nerve. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be really cool because I'm going to be able to show you guys how to use SVGs and PNGs on the shirt. So I'm actually like, I feel like it was a happy accident. You know what I'm saying? So this is the design we're creating. Now look, I have already, I did tequila drinker.
That is my favorite.
Should we do that one? I like it. Oh, I was getting crazy and making my own stuff. Yeah.
Very coquette.
So yeah, obviously you can do whatever you want, but what we're gonna need to do is start with a blank document. Now, we can measure our shirt and see about how big we want it. I'm actually gonna measure my design I did because I really like the size of this. Like, I feel like it's like the perfect oversized size, if that makes sense. It's not like huge, but it looks good. Where did I put that? Here it is. Okay, so I'm just measuring what I've already had, and you guys can kind of use this as your guideline too. Obviously, if you're making a kid's shirt, like, you are gonna need it to be smaller, but generally the adult size shirts can have the same, around about the same size design when you're doing something oversized like this. So this is about 12 by 12-ish. Okay, so let's just start. You know what? Did you show them resize yesterday in Magic Switch? You didn't?
No, because it's it's a pro feature. So.
Oh, it's a pro feature. I'm gonna show you guys anyways. Okay. Okay, so we are going to create a new page. Just add a page, and.
But you know it resizes and switches everything.
Well, so you have options.
Oh.
Yeah. So if I want to resize this to 12 by 12, I'm going to come up here to resize and Magic Switch, and I'm going to go to custom size and then change this to inches. I keep doing that. I'm so sorry. Change that to inches, and then we're going to change this to 12 by 12 and then hit continue. And then it says copy and resize or resize this design. I'm gonna copy and resize because I like to keep my original. But then it's gonna say open 12 by 12, and then it's just like on a separate document. Cool, right? Cool. And then yeah, so it resized all these to 12 by 12, which I think is really fancy and helpful. And then yeah, so you've got this blank document. Now, if you're like, how do I just start from scratch creating documents? I want to encourage you guys to go back and watch the last 3 days of boot camp because we've done that every single day for you all. So this is just another alternative way to get where you want to get. Okay, so let's start by pulling in the elements. Now, we need to decide what social club we're doing. Do we want to do tequila drinker social club?
Let's try something else.
You want to? Okay. What did we? Well, I didn't even see them all.
A lot of people are saying MGL Crafters Social Club, or just Crafters Social Club. I don't know. I think I would start with my images. But,
well, I'm going to, but I need to know what image to use. So we could do, if we did, let's say we did a crafter social club, like a crafty girl social club or crafty gals, crafty dudes, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go to elements and we're going to type in crafts, and I'm going to click see all, and it's going to show me all these graphics. Now it's going to give me all of these like crazy colored graphics, but what is really popular is picking illustrative graphics for these. So I'm going to do crafts illustration, or even craft drawing. We could do like scissors would be cute. Let's try scissor drawing. This is the fun part in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like these old scissors, those are so cool. Those are cool. And then let's see what else we've got here. Introvert social club. Yes, Sally, I feel that. This is like some hands with scissors. That's kind of cool. Let's X off of that. So I'm just kind of browsing. And listen, you can play around, look around.
Do measuring tape.
Oh, measuring tape would be cute. I was looking for...
Oh, that's pretty.
This one?
Yeah, I think I like that.
That's kind of cool.
With the little things to the side.
Yeah.
So you can change the color too.
Right.
So we can see it a little bit better.
I'm going to do...
Maybe change it to black right now.
Black show up the best. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not married to that one.
Now that you've made it black, I'm not either.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, Lauren. Oh, but it's got this thing through the middle of it. No. Me and Lauren are like obsessed with traditional style tattoo stuff right now. What is this one? That's interesting. Okay. What is something do a few designs. Patty's like, just do it all. Just do everything. So you can pick like a simple design. Oh my gosh, you could do like a Mickey Mouse social club. I like super low-key, high-key love these. But I want to add flowers. Let's just go look. If we can't find any, we're going to do like an iced coffee social club situation. So this is the beauty in Canva. You can kind of get on here and scroll around. If you're a Makers Gonna Learn member, you can also scroll on our website and use anything from there. Let's do like floral illustration. I put illustration because usually it means it's going to be in like black and white or something like that.
Or it's going to look more hand-drawn, which is what these... I mean, you can do like drink illustrations.
Oh, the drink illustrations are really cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I love.
You could just do like a
martini social
club. Do that old-fashioned.
Okay.
And just do like an old-fashioned social club.
That's cute. Okay, let's do that. I love an old-fashioned. Okay, so this is just a little old-fashioned. And I'm just going to keep that there for now. We can play with the sizing after we get all of our elements on here. Y'all know I like to bring in all my elements first and then kind of resize accordingly. So I'm going to hit the text box over here. I'm going to hit add a text box. And then I like to go ahead and size it up so I can see what the heck I'm doing because it's hard to read. And we're going to type in old-fashioned. Okay, old-fashioned. And this Anderson font is one of the fonts we're using, but not for that area. We're going to be using Estuary because y'all know I love Estuary. I get married to a font and I cannot release it. I can't be controlled. I love Estuary. It's my favorite font ever. Besides Groovy Moves. I'll never not love Groovy Moves.
I know.
And then Social Club is this opulent font. So let's change that to opulent and I'm going to type in Social Club. These are meant to look kind of ritzy and like old school, old fashioned. Imagine.
I know.
And then we're just going to drag this up. Now, if you're ever like, I don't think I can do that, I really, really want to encourage you all to find something that you love, especially if you're a craft seller. If you are wanting to sell something that's trending, pull in a photo of whatever you're wanting to make and just recreate it. Like, look at it, recreate. Look at it, copy it. I mean, just look at it and see what elements does it have? How big are they? What fonts are they using? How can I use what I have to recreate that same design? I mean, that's what we've done here. These Social Club shirts are everywhere. Like, I'm not trying to recreate the wheel, you know? I'm just putting out what everybody wants. This is what everybody loves right now. And these are similar fonts to what are already on the shirts that are popular.
I would also add for these shirts, something else that is really popular is having those like laurel wreath extras on the side of your illustration.
Yeah, we can add those in too. Here, I'm gonna do established. And this is in the Anderson font. And 2024. What year were you born? 92?
1992.
I feel like that would be cooler to put your year you were born. Okay, and then let's go get some filigree. Am I spelling that right? Oh, who knows? Who knows? So they have, a lot of them have these like frilly filigree situations, even like filigree leaves. I might just have to search like olive branch
like
leaves. Laurel wreath.
Yeah, illustration. That right there.
Like this one. Yeah, lots of them have this. Oh, that's cute because it's like little and compact. The little old-fashioned is.
Yes.
Okay, cutesy cutesy. Look at us. Y'all, it's like not even two. It's not even two. Like we're doing good. Okay, cool. Beans. Now, we're getting somewhere, right? I forgot my period and my EST. Let's add that in. I'm just making sure everything's spaced right. I love using these guidelines. I want you all to pay attention right here. Do you see the 0.115? That's letting me know that established is equally spaced away from that. Like they're equally spaced. Established and 1992 are equally spaced. If it's not going to pop up that number. But I like to use that as like a guide to know that they're exactly where they need to be. And you can even see those lines that go straight across. That helps me see as well. So now we're going to add some text to the bottom. Let's put...
The older, the better.
Oh, older and wiser. You like the older, the better?
You could do that, or you could just do like the, what's in it, like whiskey bitters, simple syrup.
Oh no, I like a catchphrase.
Okay, I mean,
like on my tequila one, I put in tequila we trust. We could put like in whiskey we trust.
But I think I like
aged like. Ooh, age to perfection. Age to perfection.
Age to perfection. I like it.
Okay, cute. Aged. Okay, and honestly, I want to make this smaller, and I want to add some spacing in between the letters because it's so like in the middle. I want to add some spacing. So select your text box if you want to add spacing in between your letters for any reason, and then come up here to this little guy, hit spacing, and you can move your letters out just a little bit. It kind of gives it a different vibe. Okay, I want to show you guys a cool trick. I love doing this in Canva. So you know how I added space in between those letters? Well, I feel like we're using that same Anderson font up here, and I want to get the same exact style that I have down here onto these. What I mean by that is I'm going to select this text box, hit Control or Command click, or even like right click if you have a right clicker, and we're going to go to Copy Style. Sorry, I keep zooming in. I don't know why I keep doing that. Copy Style. And then it's going to turn into this little roller brush, okay? How cute is that? And then I'm going to click on this 1992. I want you guys to watch what happens. So this is before, this is after. Magic! And then it goes away. So if I wanted to do this one, I'm going to come down here, hit Control, and then hit Copy Style, and it's going to carry it to that one. So I feel like that kind of marries these to this, which is a good like design thing to follow, design principle to follow. And then, you know what? I'm gonna get these lined up really well because in my brain, established 1992, the laurel wreath and the old fashioned are kind of like an image in their self. So I'm gonna get them lined up where I want them, and then I'm gonna group these together, and then we'll center everything. Here, if you want, you can select this one, and then I'm gonna select this other one. Hold the Shift key down. That'll allow you to select two boxes at once. And then you can go to position. If you're ever trying to figure out where the align tools are, they're always under position. And then we're going to align it to the middle. Okay. And then I'm gonna kind of space it nicely. Now that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm gonna select everything that I want, and then I'm gonna hit group. So this is all one unit, and I don't have to worry about like any of it moving around or anything like that. So we're just gonna keep that right there. Now, the last thing that we need to do is curve our old-fashioned text. So I feel like we did this earlier in the week, maybe not. I love the curve feature. I use this all the time in Canva. So you're going to select that. We're gonna go to Effects, and then down here, there's Shape, and that's gonna curve your text. Now that's a little too curved in my opinion. So I'm going to kind of widen it a little bit. And that looks...
Move it to the left a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like off center.
There it is.
It needs to be less curved still. I just want it to be like barely.
There you go.
Okay, let's select everything. Go to position. And we're gonna align it to center this time. Okay,
Beautiful.
And now, I want to show you guys. Sometimes when you align, because these, it looks a little weird.
Yeah, because the social club is a little different.
Yeah, because like these fonts where they stick out, they base it around the widest part of your text.
Right.
So sometimes you just got to get in there and eyeball it. And I don't have a problem doing that because I'm an eyeballer. Because I feel like I know better than this design
I still
software.
think you went too far to the right with the old fashioned.
I know, it's doing something.
Keep going back to the left.
I'm going to...
Right there and down one. Right there.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, okay. I also feel, Lauren, I'm going to add some space in these letters and I'm going to do something else. Okay, let's add like a hair of space because something is off to me. Okay, I feel good about that.
Yeah, I like that.
Age to perfection should go a little lower. Okay, Erica, I hear you, girl. Okay, and something else that I like to do, especially because we're about to be cutting these letters out of vinyl. If we zoom in, you can see these little areas right here are so thin, and this font is notorious for, like, when you weed it, it will tear because it's just so thin. So what I like to do is just click the text box, go to effects again, and we're gonna go to outline, and I'm gonna change this outline to black. And that's way too thick, but I can lower this down. So this kind of adds a stroke. Obviously, you can bring it all the way up if you're feeling crazy.
So this is like the hack that we do in Design Space where we add an offset and then use the offset. This is kind of the same thing. We're just changing the outline to the same color as the text so that it gives it a thicker look.
Yeah, it just like tricks it, you know? So I just feel like this looks pretty cute. I love it. What I'm gonna do next is duplicate my page, okay? Then I'm going to delete everything except for the cup. Okay, so we're gonna be saving the cup. Now I'm gonna go to share, download, and we're gonna be saving this as a PNG. If you don't have Canva Pro, before you save it, you need to change your background to white. Okay, I'll just do it now. Why not? We'll change it to white. So go download PNG, and then on select pages, we're gonna deselect all of them, scroll to the bottom, and we're just gonna save this little glass. And then we're gonna hit done. What we're doing right now is setting ourselves up to create a print and cut because we don't want to weed that out. No. I mean, if you wanna weed that out, listen, it's your life. But like, I'm not doing it. Not today. Not today.
No.
And then what I'm gonna do now, I've already saved that. I'm going to duplicate again. I just don't wanna mess up my initial design. That's why I'm duplicating. And then I'm gonna get rid of our little glass guy here. And we'll just bump this back up. Okay. Now, we can change this to white. I'm going to go share, download, SVG. If you have the free version, you can do this as a PNG. We went over this exact scenario on Monday's bootcamp class. So if you missed that, I want you to go back and watch it because you can save it as a PNG and then still upload it and cut it as if it were an SVG. But we're gonna export this as an SVG for this tutorial. So if you wanna learn how to do it that way, you can go back and watch Monday's tutorial. It's very easy, you guys. I'm gonna deselect all the pages and then just select the page of what we want. And then I'll hit done and hit download. Beautiful. Now we have our two sections. So we've got our print and cut section and we have our SVG section. Let's go into Cricut Design Space now. So I'm gonna go to upload. So we're in Cricut Design Space. And then I'm gonna upload image. And we're just gonna drag and drop.
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop. I'm gonna pull in this SVG first.
So did you download it as an SVG or did you download it as a PNG? I was not looking.
I downloaded it as SVG.
Okay.
Why does it look like that though?
Did you do it with a background? Did you remove the background?
No.
Are you sure?
Whoa, buddy.
You didn't remove the background.
Okay, let's retry. So download.
Technically, they could do it as a PNG because none of those are touching each other.
Right. Technically, you could.
Technically. Because when you change it, I've noticed if you click take out the background and then change it to SVG, it unchecks it.
Yes.
That happened to me once or twice.
Hold on. Where somebody said something. Oh, Janice, this is a really good time to just pop this in here. Educators do get Canva Pro for free, but you have to use it for education purposes.
According to what they say.
According to what they say, but who's going to know?
There's millions of Canva users, first of all.
Yeah. Listen, I say it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
We are telling you officially, we are officially telling you that per what the Canva stuff says, you have to use it for educational purposes.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, that's what we are officially saying. You do with that what you will.
Yeah.
You do, I mean, I've not heard of the Canva police personally, but that's neither here nor there.
Me neither.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so I got the SVG. Hit continue, hit upload, and then it's just gonna pop in. Now, we sized it and got all crazy with it in Canva, and then we pull it into Canva, and first of all, what are you doing? What is it doing?
Go down to your layers, open up your layers.
It's like an extra layer.
Okay, this is what when you pull SVGs in, you're gonna have to, I don't know, sometimes it does this weird thing with the curve.
It's like stress. It's like, I'm just gonna put 2. I can't control myself. Hold on, I deleted the wrong L. I'm just going through and deleting these. So I ungrouped it. Old.
That's the extra O you need to delete. Old fashioned.
I thought old fashioned.
Now, listen closely, peeps, because this next part you must do before you do anything else.
Yeah, because Lord help us. I just wanted to show you guys what would happen if we didn't do anything. If we were like, oh, that looks perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go cut it. We're ready to go.
Oh, it looks perfect.
Wow, this is amazing. I did such a good job. Okay, hold on.
And then what happened?
Okay.
Oy.
Yeah, so I want you guys to drop in the comments what I should do. I would love to know. What's the next step here besides going back? Because obviously something's wrong. So you're going to need to select everything. Drop it in the comments in 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Combine.
And then you're going to, you can combine and unite, or you can attach. Either way. Or I could have went combine unite. You could technically weld, but you can't undo weld. And we don't like to. I'm not trying to get married. I just want to be. I want to be on a date. I don't want to get married and not be able to undo my work. Okay. Yes. Yay. Unite and attach are both right answers. Okay. Cool. See, you guys are listening. You guys are listening. And then now we need to pull in our little old fashioned. So I'm going to go to upload image. And we're going to drag and drop our little glass. He's so cute. And then I'm going to remove the background. I have Cricut Access, so I can do that.
Or if you don't.
There you go. You can just select it. If you don't, you can just select it.
Now, this is one of those that it still has the white in between.
Yes. Here, let me zoom in.
So just be careful.
Sometimes it'll remove your background of your... because it thinks this white might be your background or something. It didn't for us, thank gosh, but it's okay. This is perfect. It did it exactly how we wanted. I'm gonna hit apply and continue, and we're gonna be using the flat graphic here. Someone said pray. You guys are so funny. Okay, hit continue, and then we're gonna upload it, and I think it's probably gonna come in kind of big. Oh.
Nope, perfect.
Maybe
a little.
A touch big, but okay, that's cute. And actually I'm gonna make it a hair smaller because we need to add an offset to this.
Change your background color from white to a gray.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it to the beige, the color of our sweatshirt. Close enough.
Cool.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, it's going to be white. it's going to be white on there, but I still think it's going to look good.
Yes.
I think it's still going to be fine. And actually, we don't technically need to add an offset to this. Now, if you have an image that, like the skeleton, for example, I want to show you guys what you do need to do, because there are going to be images that some of you all use that you're going to need to do what I'm about to show you. So let's go to recent uploads, because I think that skeleton is in here. Here he is. Let's add him. This is a canvas skeleton that I used, and we used Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. But I just want y'all to look at this. So this is a print then cut. I'm not gonna cut that. Everything that's brown behind there is getting cut out. Like, I'm not doing it. So what I did was selected my image, and I'm going to add an offset. And nothing big, like honestly as small as I could probably do it, like a 0.05. You can test. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. A 0.05 offset, okay? And then I'm going to hit apply. And there's some holes in there. So what I'm gonna do is, right now our offset is set to print and cut. I'm gonna go up here to operation, change it to a basic cut. It's gonna gray it out. And then I can contour. So if it's set to print and cut, it's not gonna allow you to contour out all those little pieces. And I'm gonna hit hide all contours. This is just gonna give me a solid outline. And then I'm gonna change the color of the offset to match my sweatshirt. So you can go get a hex code for your sweatshirt. You can eyeball it if you want to. I eyeballed the first one I made of these, and then I got the hex code, and the hex code still didn't match. So honestly, eyeballing it is probably your best bet. I mean, you're just gonna have to get as close as you can. Okay, that's why we made the offset so little, because you really, I mean, if we go overhead, like, obviously that beige is not the same color, but I do not think that looks bad at all. And it's because my offset's so skinny, you know?
Right.
So anyways, change the color of your offset, and then you're gonna select the skeleton plus the offset. So we have both layers selected, and you can flatten it. That's gonna turn this into a print then cut image, okay? So when we go to make it, that's gonna go onto a mat to be printed. It's gonna tell you need to print it, and then it's gonna cut it out. So I wanna show you guys, cross your fingers, I wanna show you what this skeleton's gonna look like over here. So both of these are coming out as print then cuts. Now I didn't need to do an offset for this one, because the cut is gonna go around my little cup on its own.
Right.
But the skeleton had those open spaces, so I added the offset and then flattened it to the offset. So the offset creates that cut line around the skeleton without me having to go in here and cut and weed all these little rib cage pieces. So I'm gonna hide the skeleton because we're not actually using him. I'm just gonna scooch that up. And then you can see here, this landed perfectly sized. Yeah, this is perfect. I do need to mirror my HTV. I do not need to mirror my printable DTV.
No.
No mirroring for printable heat transfers. Like, I don't think there's any. I don't think I ever mirror those.
Yes.
And then, but your HTV does need to be mirrored, okay? We're gonna add a bleed. We're gonna use the system dialog box always, and then I'm gonna hit print. And the dialog box is gonna pop up, sometimes behind design space. We're gonna feed it from the rear tray.
Turn on that photo paper. I'm telling you, it makes such a difference.
It does.
It has been here recently.
Yeah, media type photo paper, and then best quality.
Even if it's not shiny, but y'all, truly, if you're doing shiny stickers, turn it on that photo paper, because
it just like richens it.
It does. Those stickers that I made yesterday, I turned it on to photo paper. You should have seen how good of a quality they were before I put the laminate sheet over top of them.
Really?
It was delectable.
I love when we like do one little tweak and it makes something so much better. So y'all seen the image in Cricut Design Space, but look at the bleed. See the black edge, how it kind of like just fizzles out on the edges? That's the bleed. All of that is the bleed. So from here, we need to get our mat. And this is that Caesar Easy Color DTV. It looks like an off-white on the back and it's a bright white on the front. And we are just going to line this up on our mat. And get a burnishing tool. Actually, I'm gonna bray it. I like braying things with ink because I feel like
I have a quick question just for you.
Me? Okay.
When did you wash your hair last?
When?
Yeah. Was it yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Why? It was Saturday.
Okay. Somebody said this might be weird, but y'all's hair looks amazing today. Shampoo commercial level awesome. And I wanted to be like, oh, I just washed mine last night. That's why.
Did you wash yours last night?
I washed mine last night.
That's hilarious. My hair does better the less I wash it.
I think
like a fresh wash day is not that good, but 3 days post wash, midweek, Wednesday is going to be my best hair day forecast.
Yeah.
Honestly. In Cricut, I'm going to go to browse all materials. We're going to be using printable, and there's lots of printables, but I'm going to use printable iron-on dark. I just always use that. You can use light too. I think it's the same, honestly, like the same settings. I don't really know what would be different, but I always use dark and it works really good. So that's what we're going to do. Also, played around with Tech Wraps, printable iron-on for darks, and it's like really good. Okay, I'm putting shiny side down. This is our HTV, shiny side down. Carrier sheet side down, to be specific. And then I'm gonna put this on here. And we are going to trim it off. Trim it off. Oh gosh, Becky. Okay, there we go. This blade, can you tell I'm not right-handed? I can't hold this blade very good. Okay. And then we've made sure to make sure you mirrored your HTV, and then we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna change our cut settings to everyday iron-on, and then we will have to cut it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna take forever to cut, but we didn't weed this yet, so I want you guys to look. So I'm gonna weed this, and you're gonna be able to really see where that bleed was. Y'all see, I'm gonna put my hand under here so you can really see the bleed went all the way out. It carried it all the way out. Now, if our calibration was off at all, we didn't have that bleed on, there might be white around the edges. So I'm not gonna take this off of here yet. The transfer sheet for these, or the carrier sheet for these, is not sticky. So if I pull this off, it's just gonna be like a limp piece of vinyl. This just has such an interesting feel. You can kind of see like how thin it is.
Yes.
So very, very thin and soft.
Now, one thing with the Caesar DTV, if there are multiple pieces that you want to keep together, they do have what they call TTD, or a like transfer tape specifically for, let's be clear, I don't think you have to get their brand transfer tape. We have used other heat transfer tape. You cannot use regular transfer tape with this. But if for some reason there were multiple pieces to your printable HTV, you do need to have some type of transfer tape to pick it all up together to put on your shirt. For this one, because it is one solid piece, it is okay for us to pick it up with our fingers, place it down where we want it, and then add you can even use some heat tape to secure it down, and then add the Teflon sheet over top of it to iron it down.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, they have, I'm trying to think, we bought another brand of it's heat transfer tape, and then the Caesar brand has the Caesar TTD. But yeah, we use them often. Like, we need them pretty frequently. But for these, since they don't have that protective sheet, that's why I brought in a Teflon sheet, because I'm not using heat resistant transfer tape. So I cannot just go in here with our mini easy press and like iron on here, or it's gonna melt my vinyl. Okay, this works just the same as heat transfer vinyl. It will melt without some type of protective something over top of it. And while that's cutting, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my mini easy press to the second.
Did you remind them about how you have to wait? Because Donna, and I do want to remind you guys as well, Donna said the Caesar DTV feels so good on t-shirts too. It truly does. The only thing is, do not wash it before your 24 hours is over. You need to let it sit for 24 hours.
Yes,
actually, that's a must.
Yeah, it'll come off.
It will come right off.
But also what's cool is that you can iron it back on.
Yeah, you can.
Like I had made Ruby some shirts with some like Georgia Bulldog shirts, and the little Bulldog came off because I washed it for 24 hours. Ironed it back on, and it literally just went back on. I was like, that's interesting. Because that tells me the adhesive is still like there.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Okay.
Wash the sweater before. So you know us here, if you are selling your shirt, we do highly suggest, actually, really anything, you either need to purchase pre-washed shirts or pre-shrunk. If it's pre-shrunk, that means that when you do put it in the wash, it's not going to shrink up. But if you do not have pre-shrunk or pre-washed cotton and you put something on it, then you take a risk of it shrinking and like shriveling up. One thing that I have noticed is sweatshirts are not as bad to shrink or shrivel as t-shirts are. Especially like Heather t-shirts are very bad because they're so thin.
Yeah.
They're the worst to shrink and make your HTV shrivel up if you've not pre-washed it. But sweatshirts are not near as bad, in my opinion.
I concur. Okay, so I'm just gonna weed all this off.
I'm loving all of these things that you say you are making. We've got somebody's wanting to do a Jeep club, a genealogy social club.
Oh,
I love it.
Wait, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Genealogy, like your heritage.
Yes,
That's cool.
And on the bottom, the little tagline says "Got ancestors."
That's hilarious. I love it. We should do a. I'm trying to think what it could be. Like Valaris Social Club.
Yes. Why didn't we think of that?
I
And
don't know.
3 mountains. Do the mountains with the 3 stars.
That would have been so good. Okay, well, we'll do another one. I'm gonna have to make a Valaris shirt anyways.
I know.
I seen that one I sent you the other day, and I was like,
Cereal social club.
I'm gonna use this pen tool to weed out the innards of these letters. Just a little bit easier. And I'm gonna say, I saved this as an SVG, and I don't think that it saved where I added that effect around my letters, but they cut fine, so that's good.
Good.
But they're very thin. Okay, I got my t-shirt guide. I'm gonna line that up with the middle.
True Crime Social Club would have been a good one with like a bloody hand in the middle, or like a handprint with the blood on the
or Spooky Girl Social Club, because I love Halloween. We all love Halloween around here. Okay, I'm gonna fold this in half. Just a little trick of the trade here. I'm gonna line up my laurel wreath because I think that's probably the most middle. And then
Bobby Jean said, I need to do it. Did you forget something with the A? Did you?
No.
Okay, you got it. Bobby Jean said, I need to do a breast cancer awareness social club. What if you did a survivor social club and like a breast cancer ribbon inside? That one would be cute. And instead of established, you could put defeated and then the year you beat cancer.
Ah, that's a good idea.
I love that.
See, this is why we all need to put our brains together.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and iron this on. Now, if y'all have been around here for any amount of time, you've probably seen us do HTV on shirts. I like to see the bubbles come up. You can kind of see bubbles underneath the surface of the transfer tape. A lot of people don't like to move their press around, but that's just, you know, your prerogative. I like to move mine around a little bit.
Yes, for sure.
And then I'm gonna do a warm peel slowly, in case something is not down all the way. Okay, do not throw your transfer tape away. You're gonna need to save it. Actually, you don't really. I don't like to throw it away until I'm done anyways.
Yeah.
Just in case you need to protect it.
And here's the thing. You could even use that transfer tape over top of this DTV to protect it instead of a Teflon sheet if you wanted to.
You technically could. So you're just going to kind of line that up.
I don't know that I wouldn't just put it on the transfer tape and then line it up.
I know, that's my... Okay. So I
would do it in the middle. That way you're covering everything up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, smart.
Work smarter, not harder.
I was going to put it on the edge and then put the Teflon sheet over everything, but...
I would just put it in the middle and then put the... You probably even could have, instead of peeling it off the back, once you weeded everything, you probably could have lined it up and just ironed it all together.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
But
I love that crystal glass that's in. It looks so much better even in real life.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Satisfying. Okay, I'm obsessed with this.
I love it.
Okay, cool beans here. I'll go put it overhead. This is the one we made today. This is the one we made for the sample. So I better be seeing y'all's in the group.
Yes. I want to see them.
Okay, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I took my shoes off.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This project is hot off the press.
We were going to do something different today, and then I don't know how many of you guys are on TikTok, but there is like...
I call it Tic-Tac.
Tic-Tac. It's been a trend for about a month, and a half.
Yeah.
But I decided to make one myself, for myself one night, and then I wore it the next day, and Alicia and Courtney were like... That is so cute. We think that our ladies would love this. We're going to incorporate a print and cut to show you guys how you can display them if you want to make them custom for other people. But this is a viral, it did go a little viral on TikTok, charm necklaces. Y'all, I was like, growing up, charm bracelets were like my thing. Like I loved them.
My mom had a charm bracelet, and like it was so nice because I just would get her a charm for her birthday, a charm for Christmas. Like it was awesome.
But like we're doing this, it's just, you know, little charms that you can get from Hobby Lobby, not super expensive, very cute, very colorful.
So
we
good.
love colorful.
So good.
Okay, guys.
So good.
This is what we're going to be making today. Let's go ahead and go overhead so they can see it. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I've not taped this, or I didn't like. If I were giving this to somebody, I probably would have taped this to the back. But look how cute!
Yes.
Now this one is my charm necklace. This is the one I made, and I'll go ahead and take it off since you all. But this is what we're gonna be making to put it on. Number one, and this is the charm bracelet. Shoot, charm necklace that I made for myself. And y'all, I just love this so much because you really get to pick and choose what you want your charms to be. Like mine kind of I wouldn't say tells a little story, but like kind of tells a little story.
Yeah, tell us the story.
Well, I'll tell you part of the story. Like I'm not gonna tell you guys all of this story, but whatever, I digress. So for example, on this side, you know, it's got the little A for Asher, and then I have the heart because, of course, my child is my heart. And then I have a little playing card because he is a card shark and we play poker all the time. And then this little green represents his birthstone because he was born in August. And then, honestly, those are just because his favorite color is purple. Aww. So I put the purple smiley on this side, and I just wanted to end it out with that cute little flower. And then on the other side, it's, you know, just little things that represent my life.
Love it.
And you can have it to represent people in your life, things in your life, whatever. But this is such a fun project to make. And then, like we said earlier, making this print and cut with your Cricut truly just takes it over the top because once you put it on there.
Talk about like wrapping this up in a little tissue paper, giving it as that gift. Like Valentine's Day, guys, is a
look
week
how
away.
cute.
Like, imagine giving this as a gift this Valentine's Day.
I love it. So what you're going to need for this is, of course, your base necklace. Now, Hobby Lobby has lots of different chains that you can choose from. This one is just the metal gallery chain. This was $4, not on sale.
Way.
I mean, you know.
So good.
And what's really cool is if you got a group of people together to do this together, like I had to buy all of these charms. Like these charms I bought for Alicia because I thought a lot of this stuff represented her and her family, and I'll explain everything later. But like these little butterflies, really and truly, I only needed one of them, but you had to buy the whole pack. So that's why I think this is a great project to do if you wanted to do like a Galentine's party. Ooh. You all could just make charm necklaces together.
That's so fun.
How cute would that be? So you're gonna need your necklace. I've linked one
These charms are so affordable.
Yeah, like even not on sale.
Yeah.
The little letters are $2.50, but the letters were on sale. This one's 99 cents. This pack was like $3.29. The most expensive pack that I got was this pack, and it was $8.99, but I'm pretty sure it was 40% off.
That's awesome.
So it's very, very affordable. But what you're gonna do, or the way that I did this, because what do we want? Do we want to just go ahead and put the charm necklace together before we do the
Let's do it.
part? Okay. So how I did this is I like to lay my necklace out, and then what I think is best is kind of start laying out where you want your charms. So I have. And I should have taken all of these off beforehand because this might take me a minute. I have a charm for Trey, for Alicia, a T for Trey. And then, so that'll go somewhere in here. And while I'm doing that, Trey is such a handyman. I thought these were just like the cutest stinking little things. It's like a little hammer, a little saw, a little wrench.
we will have the hardest working day here at Maker's Gonna Learn, and I will go home, put my babies to bed, and I will get in bed myself, and I'll look on Instagram, and Alicia, Trey are at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like once a week. I'm like, how are you guys doing that? She's like, we got projects.
We got projects
always got
to
a
do.
project. It's so fun. They're such a handy couple.
Really and truly. So I saw these and I was like, this is Trey through and through. And they do a lot of woodworking.
Yes.
I didn't see a gold. They didn't have a golden saw. So we're doing a silver saw because I like mixed metals.
Yeah.
So that's going to be Trey's little charm beside his name. And there's a supply list. If you'll let them know, there's a supply list in Asana. It should be there.
Perfect. I'll let the team know that we can add it.
What I have done with the supply list, I linked the necklace on Amazon. You can, like I said, get the necklace from Hobby Lobby. That's fine too. I also, I'm trying to think. I literally just linked like the charm page. I just searched charm on Hobby Lobby and I just linked the page. I did not link every single one of these charms because honestly, y'all, I didn't know what charms I was going to use today and what charms I'm not. So we're just going with it. So that one's going to be for Trey. Now let's get Ruby Doo's out. Let's get her little R.
Love it. Sin says it's been added to the description. So my friends, if you do not see our supply list, all you need to do is refresh your page. And if you're watching the replay, it's down below for you in the description to links to everything you see around here.
And then I also got a little G for Georgia because, and I looked so hard for a peach.
Oh, that
Georgia
would be perfect
peach.
for Georgia.
But they didn't have one. They had every other fruit imaginable but a peach. Tell me how, tell me why that didn't. But anyway, so we're going to add Georgia over here. I think what I want to do, I want to put Trey's kind of in the middle and then Ruby's and Georgia's on the side.
I love it.
Okay, so now I thought that the reason I got these butterflies is because I thought this one little butterfly was the cutest peach color. So that's what I got for Georgia. And I don't know, it just was screaming Alicia to me. Like hardcore screaming Alicia. So that is, I got this one to go on Georgia's side. So this pack I got because I just felt like this right here screamed Alicia to me, like the peace sign,
yes,
like all of that. But I want to lay it out and make sure that I have enough color and that they coordinate really well. So I definitely want to use this peace sign somewhere, but we're lacking color. So I'm gonna add in some flowers.
Love it.
I think I want to do this blue one for sure. And the cool thing about this is it's not permanent, y'all. You can go back and change it. If you don't like something or if you want to add something, you can go back and change it.
Yep.
This is what I love about this is I can like, before you start attaching, this is why this step right here is so important. Getting all of this around, like moving it around, deciding what you want. I don't know, part of me maybe wants to put, I'm just gonna humor myself and pull this rainbow in. It's kind of big. That's the only reason that I'm like, I don't know. Do I like it? Do I not? I just kind of want to see. And then we can like move things around. It's like not a big deal.
Not at all. That's the best part.
Anyway, so we start in the middle. I have 11 charms and I want this to be my center point. So that link right there is my center charm. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just going to take this jump ring. Now, I did find that using 2 sets of needle nose pliers for this worked a lot better. That way you can hold with one and really pick up, place that in. And I have jewelry pliers. These in my right hand are jewelry pliers. These are actual just like needle nose pliers from our, oh no, see this is the problem. Let's figure it back out. Okay, I'm just gonna hold this up. Okay, so now we're just gonna start adding our charms. Now, actually, I got that one too close. I suggest doing like, you can do as close together as you want. I like being able to see all of the charms personally. So I suggest doing about 2 to 3 links in between each charm. And that's one of the reasons why I love the paper clip style necklace. That way I can count how many links I've got in between each one. And have them all equally spaced.
Yes.
Because I'm not normally like has to be equal all the time, but for this one, for some reason, it did in my brain. Now, obviously, this is going to be the most time-consuming part, guys.
Yep.
Is just putting all your charms on your necklace. But this is one of those things. Get you an audiobook, if you don't listen to audiobooks, turn on some music. This is a mindless task that is such a good thing to do of the evening. This is actually what I did one evening. Sorry, I'm having to count, make sure I'm even. This is what I did one evening. I didn't have any plans. I knew that Asher was with his dad, and my mom was going to be working late. I was going to be at the house by myself. So, like, I just went to Hobby Lobby and had a me night and made my charm necklace.
That's so fun. Also, and yeah, you can get these supplies from Amazon. You can get the supplies from Hobby Lobby, where we got ours, or Michael's, or wherever you want. You'll notice here at Makers, we do a lot of Hobby Lobby. We pay for it all. We're not sponsored. They're literally just 5 minutes from our office. So
not even 5.
Not even 5. Like,
really and truly.
Yeah, it's very close.
Here's another little tidbit that I highly suggest you guys do.
Tell us.
I suggest that you lay your necklace down each time, because if you put your charms on backwards, I mean, it would irritate me if I realized that these charms were on backwards. But especially like these letters and the ones that have enamel on the front, you don't want this rainbow backwards and the letter with the diamonds like facing forward. So you just have to kind of be aware of that, how you put it on, like which way it faces. So just so you know.
I love that.
Because the more you know, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what did everybody say they were doing? Or what did anybody say what kind of jewelry they have made before?
Oh, a lot of leather.
A lot of leather.
Yeah, a lot of Maker You projects. You know, just talking about making jewelry a lot, aroma beads, things like that. So this group seems to have done a little jewelry, you know, a time
done some jewelry making before.
Yeah, totally.
Comments,
That's okay.
I'm
You're
like
very
head
focused.
down focused.
Yeah.
Completing this. And you know what? We may just put the other few, I may finish this charm and put the other ones on here in a minute, because I think you all get the gist of how we're doing this. Holding with one set of pliers, opening with the other. I like to get my smaller ones, count my little things. This one goes on that one. And then kind of hold at the bottom with my small ones and come back. And this is why I like these. Is because it has those ridges. These needle nose pliers specifically has the ridges on it, and it has a wider area. So when I come in to pinch these, it's like it pinches it exactly where I need it to go, and like I have more control. Like for example, this jump ring is higher than it should be, so I just need to close it down like that. I just feel like I have more control with the bigger ones. I did not just do that. Okay, here's a really good example, and I'll have to go back and fix this one later. I want to lay this down so you guys can see. You see how everything here is facing forward, except for my flower? Except for my flower.
Ooh.
So that one's going to have to be taken back off and put back on the correct way. So anyway, we'll do that one here in a little bit. We'll come back to this.
Love it.
I think you all get the gist of how to put the charms on the necklace.
Yes.
One thing that is not linked down below are the fonts that we did use. I did forget to link those, but we will get those added. So let's go back to design. Let's go to Design Space. Oh, there it is. There it is. I zoomed out too far. Let's go back. Oh, okay. So where's that one? The fonts that we are going to be using today, let me go ahead and unflatten this. Clearly, I've got to get this, download this font. But the fonts that we are going to be using today, Violetta. Oh, is it all Violetta? No.
No.
What fonts are they?
I bet the fonts aren't there, so you might have to download them.
Arial. Okay, let's go back here and then here, and it'll tell me what fonts we're going to replace. It just says Violetta, but there's 2 different fonts on this. You know what? We'll go with it. So let's go over to our website. So Violetta, that is the font, the serif font that we're using. To download a font from our website, what you're going to do is click the arrow pointing down. You're going to then come up here to your downloads, open this up. You are going to double click it. And then you are going to, once you double click it, it will open up here. Now we are on a Mac. If you are on a PC, it's gonna open up, it's gonna look different, but it's gonna be the same thing. You're going to install this font onto either your character map, which is for PC, or your font book, which is Mac.
Yeah.
From there, you're gonna go back to Design Space. Make sure if you are working on something to save it, but once you have saved it, if you go to View and Reload, you have to reload Design Space for it to recognize the new fonts that you downloaded onto your computer.
Yes.
So now that I have downloaded Violetta, you see this red line went away, it's not there. So now, it still did it. Let's go
You might
back.
have to design a new one with like new fonts.
You know what? We'll do it. We'll do a
Heck
new one.
yeah.
It's not a big deal. I'll just be real honest. Alicia designed this, so I'm not really sure what. I bet it's Celine.
Ooh, I love that font.
It looks like Celine. You know what? We're going with Celine.
So good.
Violetta and Celine it is. So we're going to download Celine. This is also a new font. And what you can do, if we have anybody here that isn't really sure or doesn't know about our website, what you can do is you can preview your text. So if you wanted to see what the word charm looked like, you can preview that word in all of these different fonts, and you can decide which one you like the best.
Love it.
So once it is down, once you have chosen your fonts that you want to do, we do have to download Celine. So once again, we're opening up that OTF, double clicking, installing it onto our computer, going back to Design Space, going to View and reloading. We're gonna start from fresh anyway, it doesn't matter. So what you're gonna do first is you are going to grab a basic shape. Now for this one, we used this oval. You could do this one. You could even, I was looking, I feel like this shape would be super cute too. Either one of those would be really pretty. Actually, you know what? I think I want to go with this one. I don't think I want to do this one. I think I want to do this one. And I think we're gonna do it about 7.5 inches. You can do it, for the necklaces, you do need to do it pretty large. They need to be pretty big, especially for the charms, and we'll go overhead. And even with this one, like I said, it's large, but like some of these charms are on the back, which is not that big of a deal. It still looks beautiful here. But if you want all of the charms showing, just know that your oval needs to be pretty large. So we'll go 8.5 in length. And that makes it 8.5 in length and about 6 inches in height. I think will be a nice size. And I'm gonna change this to white because I do want this just to be on white paper. Now, you can print it whatever color you want. If you wanted it to be a pretty color, my suggestion is going down here to advanced and like playing around with like a super light pink would be cute. You can never go wrong with a good tan. Let me show you guys my favorite way of getting a tan. I love coming down to the brown and then just like up here in the corner, like getting a really pretty tan. Sometimes even the orange will give you a nice tan right here. Like add some gray to it.
Love it.
Can't beat it.
So fun.
Can't beat it. But anyway, that's how, if you wanted to get a nice color, that way you can. Like I said, we're just gonna go with white. Now we're going to add our text onto our design. So the first thing we wanna do, we want it to say, "You're so charming" up here. So I'm gonna grab a text box. We are using the font Violetta. So I'm gonna go over here to my system fonts and type in Violetta. I'm just gonna type in Violet. And now we're just going to type in "You're so..."
I love this font. It's like so
charming,
elegant and
yes,
mature.
I know. I love it. So I am going to curve this. So the first thing, I think I'm going to size it down just a little bit, bring it here, and then I'm gonna go to my curve and I'm gonna curve this down. It's gonna need to be curved some more. About like that. And I do think the size needs to come down just a little bit. And just so you know, if you have curved it and you size it down, that curve is still gonna be pretty severe. So you may have to come back up here and uncurve it a little bit.
Right.
And let's just select both of them. And I'm going to go to align and I want to center it horizontally. Beautiful. Now, and I'll change all of the colors here in just a minute. So, yes, Kathy, we did make the charm necklace. We started the process. We did that the very first thing. And now we're doing the card that the charm necklace is going to go on. So what is down here at the bottom is just a really cute little sentiment. Our vision for this was sometimes you see those necklaces in like little boutiques, a lot of different places that will have like a definition. So it may be a necklace for a best friend or a necklace for whatever. So that's what we were going for. So the word is a French word from my understanding. Quantrell. I can't say it. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to, what was the other font that we downloaded? Let me go back here and look. Celine.
Yes.
That's it. I knew it was something with a C. So we're going to grab Celine. And the word that we're using is Quintrelle.
Beautiful.
Pronounce that.
Oh, I have no idea. What does it mean?
Okay, so the definition, or the definition that Alicia put is a woman who emphasizes a life of passion expressed through personal style, leisurely pastimes, cultivation of life's pleasures, and charm.
Period.
Super cute. Let me, you know what? I just want to, I'm just going to Google it at this point.
You just want to be able to copy and paste it.
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, Jan, you're going to love that new Joy Extra. I love looking at mine.
A woman who is focused on style and leisurely pastimes.
This sounds like you.
I know. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to go back to Design Space. I'm just going to leave this here for right now. We will go back and really hone in our how we're going to put all this together. So this will go here. I'm going to grab another text box. We're going to go, this one is going to say charm on it. Now, this is very important. We are mixing fonts. We want the words that we want to stand out to be in a different font. So the definition, the word Quantrelle, that is, we want this word to stand out, and we also want charm to stand out. So that's why these two words are going to be in a script font, and then the definition is going to be in a serif font. So we're going to grab another text box, and we're going to go back to Violetta, and now we're going to type in our definition. A woman who emphasizes.
I love this font. Like just seeing it, I'm like, this font is like, I want to get behind it.
I know.
I love it.
Personal style, leisurely pastimes, pleasures, and, okay, hear me out. This is going to have to be pretty small. Not too small, though. It doesn't have to be too small. And charm. This is why we wanted charm in a different font. So now what I'm going to do is I'm changing the colors of all of these text boxes to match. So they are gray. This is just standard. I do really like the tan on it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, like a good rosy color would be pretty. Let's try like a mauve. So once you have everything placed where you want it, this is going to be a print and cut, okay? So once you have everything placed where you want it, the next step, and you could even, if you wanted to put like little pictures here, you can. It would be beautiful if you wanted to. Once you are done designing, what you're gonna do is you're going to drag, and you are going to click and drag and cover everything here, okay? And we're going to hit flatten. I mean, look how cute. And let's change our canvas color so you all can see better. Look how stinking adorable. But we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Because currently we are just cutting out this oval. But we want to have slits here so we can put our necklace in there, okay? I did 2 semicolons just because I like the looks of a semicolon.
Okay. Love it. It's your design.
You can do whatever.
Isn't that fun?
You really can do whatever.
So good.
But what you need to do now is we're going to add in the lines so that our Cricut will cut the lines as well. So you're going to come back up here to shapes. The first one here, it is a score line, but what we're going to do is we are going to size it down. Okay. We are going to rotate it, I think 45 degrees. Oh, negative 45. Oh no. It should have been negative 45. Negative 45 degrees, beautiful. We'll size it down even more because it doesn't need to be like super huge. And then from there, we're going to change it from a score line to a basic cut, okay? Now, this is somewhere where you're gonna definitely want to zoom in. We're gonna choose this line and I'm going to place it. I wanna make sure it is at the edge, if not even like sticking out just a little bit from our design, because you wanna make sure the Cricut is gonna cut around it, but it also needs to cut here. So once you've done that, we are going to duplicate it with it. I'm gonna select it, we're gonna duplicate it. Now this is the easiest way that I have found is once you duplicate it, we're gonna go up here to flip and we're gonna flip it horizontally. We're gonna bring it over here.
Now I do want to offer this to anyone. There's also another way, Lauren. You could cut it and then get your scissors.
You could get your scissors if you wanted
and
to.
And if this is too much for you, I just want to offer that sometimes just because the Cricut can do it, doesn't mean you have to have it do it. But I love giving you both options. But for anyone that's like, okay, what? Like, feel free. I just want to give permission. Scissors.
Yes. You have permission to do scissors. Okay?
So good.
Seriously, I didn't mean to move you. Okay. Because I'm so zoomed in. So once you have your slits there, okay, what we're going to do now is I like working from the layers panel because you all could see it's like anytime I clicked on it, it would like move it around. I don't want it to move. I want it to say exactly where it's at. That's why working from your layers panel, y'all, is something that I feel like needs to be utilized more. We do it here, but if you all are not working from your layers panel, you need to start. So how you can do that is select this line, hold down the shift key, select the other line. With the shift key still held down, we're now going to select our flattened print and cut image. So we have all 3 of these selected. And this just needs to be deleted. So we have our print and cut image, shift key, line, line. You see they're all green. They're all selected. So now what we're going to do is we are going to attach them. We don't want to flatten them because if you flatten them, you're just gonna have 2 black lines here. Now, if you wanted to flatten them and you have 2 black lines where you can come in and cut with your scissors, fine, you can do that. But we are attaching them because now what it's gonna do, our Cricut is going to cut out this oval and then it's just gonna cut these 2 little slits.
Love it.
Beautiful. Now, all we have to do is send it to our printer to print. So we are going to go to Make It. We are using the Explore 3 today. This will fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We are using 120-pound cardstock. It does need to be pretty thick, especially for this charm necklace. If you use 60-pound cardstock, that cardstock would look like that because of how heavy the necklace is. So you do need to have a pretty thick cardstock. So super important. Once you've done that, we're gonna go to continue. We are going to send it to our printer. For this one, because we don't have color going to the edge of our image, We are going to turn bleed off. We are using our Canon TS8100 series, and I'm using System Dialog. From there, I'm going to select print, pull it down, because it will pull up behind if you're on a Mac 9 times out of 10. We are feeding this from the rear tray, best quality. And y'all, I've been changing my media type to photo, even if it's not photo paper, and I've been getting some dang good prints.
I like that.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and
change.
Wait,
better prints than just moving it to best quality?
The color payout, it's like
different.
It's just a more saturated color. I don't know, like that sweatshirt that I just did, where I printed on DTV. It's clearly not photo paper, but I printed it on photo type, and it just gave some really,
I love that.
Really good color.
Everybody try it.
So try it out if you want to.
Yeah.
So after that, we're gonna select print. It is going to print, and I'm going to go grab that.
Woohoo!
One thing that I have done in the past, and I'm going to tell you guys, because if we have someone new, there's a good chance you're going to do this, and I don't want you to do this. I highly suggest, because you would think, this is an oval. It doesn't matter which way I put it on the mat. It's going to cut an oval, right?
Right.
I have had that train of thought before. Guys, it's very important how you put it on the mat.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Design Space real quick. The You're So Charming is on the left side, so you need to make sure when you lay it on the mat, the You're So Charming is on the left, because I have done a project very similar to this before, and I thought in my head, it's just a square. It's not gonna mess up.
Yeah.
But if we flipped it around, it would cut out the oval probably perfectly fine. But then our slits are gonna be on this side of our oval. So just make sure you put it on the mat the way that it is in Design Space, okay?
Yes.
So now that we've done that, we are going to load our mat. I'm gonna move my unsweet tea. It's doing it to me again. It has done this to me the past 3 times. Crazy. I have cut it on craft board setting.
Crazy.
It does one pass, and then it stops, and then let's go over here.
Is it like the last time, yesterday? Is it cut through all the way?
Yes.
Is it cut through all the way?
Yeah, it is.
So wild.
I can see it's cut through all the way, but go to the share screen and show them what it's.
Yeah.
It says cutting 1 of 2 passes, because I did use the craft board setting. And then come back over here to the Cricut. It completely stopped.
Right.
It's not letting me unload. It's not, I don't know what's going on with Design Space. So I'm just gonna hit cancel, I guess, because it did cut all the way through. Yes, I wanna cancel the cut, and then it will pop it out.
Beautiful.
Anyway.
Little tech issue, and that's the thing with each Cricut update, you'll notice like there can be some of these little finicky things that come up. They usually fix them and release an update, and then it'll be fine. So it's just part of it.
And then once you're done, which I still have like 2 or 3 more charms to put on this one, but look how cute.
Beautiful.
And look how that size
is perfect.
Is perfect.
Yeah. That is incredible. Incredible. Someone said it happened to them too last night. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Look at it.
I love it.
Good. So Lauren will add the rest of her charms, and then she'll be ready to give Alicia a welcome back to work gift.
Welcome back to work.
Ooh, it's so good.
I love it.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Let us know down below if you are go try your hand at making some charm necklaces.
Anyway, so we are going to be making the toppers for these. Now let's do overhead. I'm going to show you all the 2 different versions that we're going to be making today. So I've got these 2 right here. Can y'all see those really good?
Beautiful.
Up a little bit more.
They look so good.
Okay, this is our resin one, and then this is one that we purchased from an Etsy seller, and I'm hoping this Etsy seller blows up because of you all. Yes. I feel like that would be a really fun day for them. So I'm gonna show you all how to use resin, how to put the flowers in there, and then how to apply vinyl and then seal that resin in if you want to. So these are just super fun. We have different options here. So these are just some that this is when we played around with. We did some gold flake. This one we purchased and it already had, actually they gave us this one. I think the people we purchased from gave us like a freebie.
So sweet.
And then we got these two colors. So this is like a translucent or iridescent type of color. And then we have a gray one here. So all of the links to the supplies that we used are on the supply link page. Let's go to share screen. I want to show you all, this is the close-up of the project actually on the Stanley Cup. How beautiful is that? I love to personalize things. I think that's why I love crafting so much. I just love something that just says, oh, that's definitely like Sadie's cup. That looks like a Sadie cup. So all the supplies you're gonna need are here. Right underneath, we've got our font. You're gonna need resin, the light, everything is here. I saw a couple of you asking which Etsy shop that we use. I'm just gonna click on this Etsy shop to show you all.
Shout out.
Oh, look, we have this one right here.
Wait, is it? How much is this?
Okay, so you've got to pick depending on your size. So make sure that you guys know the measurements of yours. And I think we have the 40-ounce curved, and it should be on the bottom. Yours has a sticker, and I'm wondering if it's covered.
Let me try to see what I can do over here.
So, and then once you select that, you can get look, you can get a clear pack of 15 for $13.
$13?
Yes.
What?
So that's less than $1 per thing, and then you can sell them for what, like $7, $8? Easily.
12.
12.
I mean, think about how much you're investing in this Stanley.
Right.
I mean, this
is look,
necessary.
They've got all these right here. You can get packs of multiples, and it has all the colors listed here. So they've done all this, and you can see the difference between the 20 and 30 ounce versus the 40 ounce. If you've registered and you haven't received your email for supplies, you can re-register.
Or you can email customer support, hi@makersgonnalearn.com.
Yes.
We have a large group crafting with us this week. And even when we don't have a large group, we always have a group.
Yes.
And here on the show, it's just not the best customer care. So you need to take all of those concerns and go straight to hi@makersgonnalearn.com. We pay a full team to run customer care. I just wanted to show overhead of
what that's
this
gonna
right
look
here.
like. Yeah.
I kind of scraped some of it off. Where's the best place to buy Stanley? Jeannie, I think Dick's Sporting Goods has been doing really good.
Target has them. They sell out.
Now, they do sell out, but Dick's Sporting Goods have had quite a few in.
If you like a knockoff, you can go on
Temu,
DHgate and Temu.
And Temu, they have knockoff ones.
Temu's are like $14. We have some back in the supply room. Do you want to know
a secret?
Yes.
So I was very late to the Stanley game.
Me too.
Very late.
I was later than
I saw a different color of this tan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be my... Courtney got one as a gift, and I just started drinking out of it so much. And once I saw a similar color to this, I was like, I have to get it.
Yeah.
It was sold out everywhere. I had to get it on eBay.
Stop.
I may have overpaid by
I'm sure you did. A lot.
But it was so fun, and I love it.
It's like a game.
I love it.
Back to the share screen. I just want to show you all, a lot of people aren't familiar with how to shop on Etsy. So if you follow this link, it's going to take you exactly here where we're at. So you're going to want to pick your size, okay? Check the bottom of your cup depending on your size. And then you're going to select your color and quantity. And so it looks like this seller mainly sells in bulk, but they have these options right here. So let's say that we wanted to get one of these, let's go over here and look at the solids. So let's say we wanted this hot pink. I'm gonna go to select an option, and it says solids.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one, I'm assuming it's color. They don't have one solids, one color. And then right here it says add your personalization. And then it tells you, it says these aren't personalizable, they're blank. So you're just ordering a blank tag from these people. And you're gonna type in hot pink, and then you would just add it to your cart. Okay, and this shop name is BBJ Craft House. Okay, they've got 5 stars, which is amazing. And lots of the 40-ounce Stanley is a popular size. Christine was asking about the mold. So that's how you would order a blank. Okay, now, if you're wanting to do these out of resin, we're going to go back to the supply page, and I'm going to show you all how you would get the resin mold. Okay, this is also an Etsy seller. Okay, so we're gonna click on this mold right here, and it's gonna take us to Etsy. And This one, so the mold is a little bit more expensive, but you've got to think, you can use this over and over and over again. This is laser cut acrylic. The blanks are laser cut acrylic. This is just a silicone mold that we would add to cart. Make sure you're reading the description over here. There are so many things in the description that can be easily missed. You can hit learn about more. Look, creates a 40-ounce tag. Okay, make sure you're reading the measurements. Make sure you're reading everything over here so you're not ordering the wrong thing, okay? So this shop has lots of other molds that are super cute. And look, they've even got like the Stanley flower topper. I'm obsessed with this. So I need to order that actually. That's so cute. And so this one would fit a Stanley cup as well, but you want to double check that it fits the size. This one fits the new H 2.0 Stanley, whatever that is. So you just want to really verify. Okay, so let's go overhead and we'll go over all of the supplies you're gonna need to recreate these. Now, if you're not doing a resin one and you're just doing this one right here, if you just wanna buy a blank and add vinyl to them, which is honestly gonna be your cheapest investment, so you're gonna get the biggest return on, like your profits are gonna be higher, I would just get some pretty blanks. Start out with just a few. Don't get crazy. You don't wanna have a ton of stock on hand all the time. You wanna kind of just have some, see what people want, see what people like about them, and then you can order more as you go. Yeah. And you're only gonna need the topper and then some permanent adhesive vinyl. Now we're using StarCraft. We are gonna be doing dainty cuts, so I recommend a high quality vinyl. StarCraft is it for us. Love it. I mean, they're like the end all be all. They're so good. If you have Oracal 651, 10 out of 10 recommend them as well. But this is adhesive vinyl. This is not HTV, okay? So we're gonna actually be cutting this. We're gonna have to weed it and then transfer it on with transfer tape, okay? So that's adhesive vinyl. And then I've got some Caesar transfer tape here. I personally love this brand. You can use whatever you've got on hand. So for those, that's it. Now, if you're wanting to make the resin ones, we're gonna be recreating this dried flower one. I'm gonna get these out of the way. So you're gonna need the mold that I just showed you off Etsy. And then you're gonna need some resin. Now this resin is the Jade Diction. I've got 2 bottles of it in here. We usually buy it in bulk and then transfer it in these small bottles so it's easier to handle. But this is just off of Amazon. This is not a 2-part resin. So it's literally, you just need the bottle, just one singular bottle, and that's it. And you need a UV light. So we've got this UV light here. And this is, I wanna say, it says 85 volt to 265 volt. I wanna say it's a 10 watt.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. We've linked the one that we used. These are like really good, but honestly, if you live in a sunny place and the sun is shining, go outside. Yes. UV resin cures in the sun almost instantly, like maybe a minute. Excuse me. So you're gonna need that. And then you're gonna need some tools to help you maneuver the resin. So we've got a blowtorch here. I don't know if you call this a blowtorch. It's like a mini blowtorch. You can find this at the gas station near the illegal paraphernalia.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, you can find them at gas stations, like everywhere. So you're gonna need that. I mean, it literally just puts out a little, it's like a butane lighter.
I really think there's, with all this considering resin is its own genre of crafting. When you consider that, for sure, you're really not needing that many supplies.
Especially if you've like already played around with resin and you've already got like, you already have
stuff. The blowtorch or the, you know, the different things. So it's really good. Right. Can this cause any risk for health while using it while drinking? So it's not actually touching your straw. It's actually not participating in any of the
food interaction.
The food interaction. Yeah, it doesn't. And you can demonstrate with my cup at any point later. So yay, it's so good. Such a great question. So Kelsey asked, is it actually a blowtorch or a heat gun? It's not a heat gun. It actually has a flame coming out of it. Yes. You can use a heat gun though. Yes. We just like to use, the flame is quicker and it just zaps it out. So, and I'm gonna show you all how to use that in a minute. I've got some popsicle sticks. These are always good to have on hand when working with resin, so you can kind of move the resin around. There's some rubbing alcohol. I've got a brayer just to put my vinyl on,
sandpaper. I'm going to show you guys how to use that. And then I've got some gloves. You're going to want to wear PPE anytime that you're working with resin. Wear the proper PPE that you are comfortable with. We typically wear gloves. If you're not in a well-ventilated area, you can wear a mask. Read the back of the bottle. Whatever the back of the bottle says is what you should do. Okay. And then I've got a standard grip mats.
Yes.
All right. That's everything. Easy enough, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start with the basics. So we're just going to start with the plain Stanley topper that we ordered off Etsy that has nothing on it. We're not going to be doing the resin yet. We're just going to start simple, okay? And I'm going to show you all kind of how to lay it out in Design Space and add your words and things like that. So what we're going to need to do is grab one of our blanks to start. Now I want to talk about this glitter one versus this gray one.
Okay.
What is important about these is that you need to pay attention to the colors of vinyl that you're selecting whenever you go. Is that in the center, Sadie? You need to pay attention to like the colors that you're choosing when you're working with different blanks. Like we're not going to want to use white or pink or yellow on this because it's going to disappear. But like over here on this gray one, we can pretty much do any color except for gray. It's going to show up. So those are things you want to think about when you're working with different blanks. But for Design Space purposes, we're going to want to measure this. Now, this is similar to like a rectangle shape. So I'm going to measure this whole thing right here. This is given like 3 1/4, okay, by 1 1/4. Okay, so let's go into Design Space. So 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, so I just went to shapes, select a square, and then when it comes in, you're gonna unlock your shape, change your width to 3.25, and then change your height to 1.25. And let's just zoom on in here, okay? Now, there's obviously a hole here. So let's measure how far down that hole goes from the edge. It goes down almost like 3/4 of an inch, maybe more like 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna add a circle. This is just strictly for design purposes. I'm going to make this like, I don't know, 0.25, maybe bigger than that, y'all.
And you're going in depth. Like sometimes I wouldn't even go.
Sometimes people don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't. But this is such a weird shaped blank.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we are like doing it correctly. So you can do it with or without the hole. If you're like, that's too difficult for me, you can always just measure from the edge of this hole right here, like this edge right here, to the end of the blank. I think that'd be easier. Let's just do that. So we're gonna do 2.5 inches, okay? So instead of doing the circle and stuff, just to make it easier, we're gonna change the width of this to 2.5. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So now we know we can fill up this whole space. And it's gonna be fine.
This is what I like to do.
Yeah, that's easier.
I like to make the shape the size of my safe zone.
Like
yes, I call that
that's
like
a good way to put
zone.
it. Right. That's your, you know that no matter how big you make your vinyl here, it's gonna fit perfectly.
Exactly.
So we have this 2.5 by 1.25 safe zone.
I call this I consider it like, it's just, you're getting the most for the least amount of time investment.
Right.
Right? Like Alicia can walk you through exactly how to recreate it and build your own, like if you needed to. It's just not required.
But do you need to?
Yeah, it's just not required, which is so fun.
So what I'm gonna do is select it, and we're gonna change this to the color of the blank. So we'll start with the gray one, and then I'm gonna just duplicate it, and we can change this one to either pink, yellow, or white.
Yes.
Just to kind of get a vibe for the glittery one. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna need to download our font. So if you haven't already downloaded your font, you're just gonna need to go to that supply page, and we're going to be using the Celine font. So let's go back up here. This font is one of our newer fonts. It's beautiful, gorgeous.
So good.
And you're gonna find this on the website. If you wanna use a different font, feel free. And we're gonna hit download. That's gonna pop up here into our zip folder. We're going to click that. And then it's going to unzip the folder. And then now here, we're going to double click on that Celine.otf font.
Ooh.
Okay. And then you're going to hit install. Okay.
Love it.
It's now on our computer. But in Design Space, we're going to need to go back. So I'm going to go down here and click on Design Space. And before I do anything, I'm going to save my project. So go up to the top right and hit save. And we're going to title this Stanley Toppers. I'm going to save this to my projects, Stanley Toppers. And then hit save. And then in order to get that font into Design Space, we're going to go up here to View and Reload.
Yay.
And then now, when we go search for Celine, it's going to be there. It'll be right there. So I'm going to zoom back in. And if I'm ever too far away, y'all get on to me. I work from far away.
Yes.
It's just a habit. Okay.
Beth says, I literally looked through every single font last night for the perfect one.
Oh,
Yes, Beth, love it.
Beth, we're soul sisters. I do the same thing. I'll look for fonts for ages. It's a bad habit. Okay. Or a good habit. I don't know. Okay. So my text box kind of went down there to the bottom. I'm going to zoom back in. And then now we can change the wording to whatever we want. So I want to say this gray one is for Courtney. Now let's change this font, okay? We're gonna keep your font selected so you'll know it's selected if you have this bounding box, okay? And then we're gonna go up here to this font drop-down menu. So I'm gonna select right here. And when you initially open it, it may be right here, but you can move this around so it's out of the way of where you're working, which is amazing that Cricut has done this for us. And so what we're gonna do next is go to our system fonts, because Cricut fonts are from Cricut.
Yes.
System fonts are in our system. So I'm gonna go here and let's type in the name of our font. So we're gonna be using Celine. I think this name is really long, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about it. We're gonna select it right here, and look, you can see that Courtney changes right away. Now, what I'm gonna do is resize Courtney down. Make sure your font is locked. If your lock looks like that, and you go in and start doing this with your font, just have me in the back of your brain saying, no, don't do that. Because it just makes your fonts look really crazy. So make sure it looks like this up here, and then resize. Now, in order for Courtney's name to fit on here, let's look at the measurements of this. Look up here. It's 2.1 by 0.6 in height, you guys. 0.6. We're working with adhesive vinyl. Now, if we were working with HTV and we were applying a heat transfer vinyl that already has that built-in carrier sheet, we could totally cut this out and I would be like, no problem. But since we're working with adhesive vinyl, what happens is we go to weed these, like the little inside of the O or the inside of the E, and it starts to pull up what we cut out and it ruins our vinyl. Now, we're working with the best vinyl that there is, so we may not have issues, but what I'm gonna do is cut out one with the font that we want, and I'm gonna pick another font that I think is a safer choice, and we're gonna cut that one out too. Because I'm worried that that's gonna mess up, and it's because Courtney's name's so long. If I wanted to really if I wanted to make it fit, I could change it to Court, and look, we can size it up, and honestly, that would probably cut perfect.
Love it.
So we could do that if you guys want. And then that's like the main thing. You want to be thinking about fonts and what type of material you're using. So adhesive vinyl, it's not as easy to weed as HTV. So just something to think about. So I'm actually just going to keep it at Court because that's cute. That's what we call her. And then for the glitter one, I saw somebody leave a comment. If this was you, I forgot who said it, but they were talking about on the glitter font that we should use a bolder font because it's going to show up better. And that's such a great point. And you can also stack vinyl so it pops off a little bit more. So let's just pull up a text box. Why did my text box keep, there it is. And we're going to add a name here. Okay, let's do, oh, we don't want to put your name on the glitter one, do we? Let's just do Lauren's name. Okay.
So fun.
And then we can shrink this down. Now, I want to use a different font because the glitter, you're gonna really wanna pick something that's bold. And so this pink one is for our glitter one. So you can use a font that you've already got downloaded. If you're a member, you can get another font. That's a perk to being a member. You're gonna be able to just go onto the website and pick out whatever font you want. Something like chiffon would show up really well. That's really fun for that glitter. Or you could do something like Fabulosity is really cute. Super retro. So that's a good option. But you just want to think about your blanks, your colors, and all of the things like that.
So good.
Yeah, and I actually think I like chiffon. We're just gonna stick with that. I think that's really fun.
I love the chunky font.
Me too. We actually use this one. No, we use Juniper. Juniper is very similar to this on the Easter egg.
The Easter egg is, y'all.
Iconic.
Can we just talk about, I know, so here at boot camp, we try to do like projects that you could make year round, that not seasonal, but like, y'all did an amazing project last week.
Yes.
It was epic.
And everybody's been recreating
you
them.
must go rewatch it.
It's so cute.
So fun.
So we're gonna have Lauren's here, and I think I'm going to stack these. So we're gonna do like 2 layers. Okay, so we've got some light pink in here, and we've got some white. I'm gonna actually change Lauren's to this darker pink. Okay, so here we go. Now all we need to do is hide these. Now if you're doing multiples of the same project, don't delete your squares because we've already measured these out. You know, it makes it a lot easier when you go to cut it and stuff. So what I'm gonna do next, we've got everything here that we need to cut. Everything is sized correctly. That's really wanna make sure you size everything, and we've hidden our squares. The next thing we're gonna do is go to Make It, and then we would just cut these out. Now I can put all of these on the same mat. So I've got Lauren here. I'm going to click on this next mat. I'm gonna hit the 3 dots up here in this left corner, okay? Hit that, and we're gonna select Move Object. And then we're gonna select this white mat. We're gonna cut all these at once because it's so small, it would be crazy for us not to, okay?
Right.
I'm just gonna put this down here at the 5-inch mark. We're gonna select our 3rd mat. I'm gonna hit those 3 dots, hit Move Object, and hit the white mat again. And then we're just gonna put this down here at the 10 mark. And look, we can cut all of these at once. So let's go overhead and put our vinyl on our mats.
So fun.
Love it. So we're gonna do Courtney in light pink. So if we go back to the share screen, you can see Courtney is up on the top left.
Love it.
Okay, so we're putting the color we want for Courtney in the top left. And then we've got one of the Laurens is at the 5 mark. So I'm gonna lay it a little bit above the 5 mark so we've got plenty of room to cut. Burnish it down. And then I'm gonna put this white, which we don't need that much. I'm just gonna trim it off. Cause y'all, these are like teeny weeny tiny. And this one's gonna need to go a little bit above that 10-inch mark. So we're just gonna
I
put it
love
right
this
there.
hack, by the way. If you're like, I wanna become a pro, just do this.
Yeah. This will save you so much time.
This will save you so much time cutting vinyl or cardstock or anything like that.
Truly. Okay, and then in Design Space, we're going to hit Continue. We're using our Explorer 3 today, and we're gonna be cutting this on premium vinyl removable mats. Keep it at default pressure. You're just gonna need that fine point blade, and we're gonna go ahead and load this into our machine. Make sure it's under those little lips, and it's gonna scan the mat and then cut it. Beautiful, right? Okay, so that's cutting, and then we're just gonna weed it and apply, and y'all, that's it. So
awesome.
Super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some transfer tape so we've got it ready. And these shouldn't take but a minute to weed. And then we're gonna get right into resin. So does anybody have, which I think is important for anybody, even if they are regularly using their Cricut, you always need to be refreshing your knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna weed these. Just got a standard weeding tool here. And this is the really dainty Courtney one, so be super careful.
And there's a couple tips that you could do when you are, weeding that. Like I burnish my vinyl before weeding all the time. You could apply transfer tape and reverse weed it.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab this first Lauren. Okay, we're gonna do a little layer in here.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing the first Lauren, and then we're just gonna take it And I'm going to kind of apply it offset to this other Lauren to give it some depth. Burnish it down. And then we're going to take it off. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to add this to our little sparkly thing here. See how much better that shows up, y'all?
So good.
Look how good that fits. Oh no. I burnished it too hard, you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, be a little bit less aggressive.
Yeah.
We're just gonna lay it back down, burnish it, and then remove that transfer. Hold on. She's wanting to stick because I was a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful. Look how pretty that pink is. So those are the two we just made. How easy was that, y'all?
Yay.
Oh my, this would be a great joy project, Lori.
So fun.
Okay, so there's those two. Let me show them close up, and now we're gonna jump right into resin, you all. Okay.
Woo-hoo. Are we jumping in?
We're jumping in.
Resin time.
Okie dokie. So I'm gonna set everything
This
aside.
is a perfect Joy or Joy Extra project. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are this is what we're gonna be making. I'm just gonna leave it there so you guys can kind of have it in plain sight.
Yep.
I'm going to be using this J Diction UV resin, and I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on. We're going to need this. We're going to need this. I've got my UV light on hand, ready to go. And I want to say this is the...
Alicia, throw me this. How much...
This one?
Oh, I'm throwing you a question. I was meaning, I'm going to throw you a question. You're going to throw me an answer.
I'm going to throw it back. I'm so dingy
Tell
sometimes.
me. No, it's literally me, not you. Also, y'all, you're talking about me getting more sleep. I did get more sleep than last night, and I just got a second coffee. I had no idea how many, just second coffee solves so much.
It really does.
Anyway, tell me this. Say I'm brand new.
Okay.
I want the light. I want a bottle of your resin.
Yes.
And I want some molds.
Okay.
How much? I would say under $60.
Oh, yeah.
I would say $40 to $60 can get you started with resin.
Get you a couple basic molds.
Yes, but you're going to make a lot of projects with that too, which is pretty impressive.
And buy you something that's small, like the Stanley Choppers is a good starter, or a keychain mold.
So true.
Keychains always are going to sell, y'all.
Yep.
Keychains are a good bet. So something small, you don't need anything crazy. You can use an actual lighter. You don't have to use a blowtorch. So you have some of this stuff already. Okay, so to start, we are going to put down a layer of resin. So I've got my gloves on. I've got my UV resin right here. And all we're going to do, and I'm using this mold over here. I'm sorry it's clear. I wish that you all could see it better. I'll try to hold it up. But what I'm going to do is put down a pretty thin layer here, okay? And we're just going to use our popsicle stick to smudge it around, okay? Now they do have resin colorants and things like that that you can use. But these look so cute clear.
Can you use anything other than the UV light? And the answer is yes. The beautiful sunlight you can use. So if it's sunny outside, you can use that. Unfortunately, here in East Tennessee, we cannot rely on that only.
Right.
So we have the light. So it's always
I
loyal.
love
Or if you
using
craft
the
at
sun.
night.
Right.
Hey.
The sun is
good.
my favorite though, honestly. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then sometimes if you go to camera one, y'all, I have to literally get down here and you can see if you've missed little spots. I can see that I need to kind of move my resin over a little bit. And y'all can't see it from your angle, but if you're working with resin, you'll be able to see it so much better if you get down here at eye level. And then now that it's smoothed out, I'm gonna take my butane lighter and I'm just gonna turn it on and literally that's it. It's fun. You're just going very quickly. Ooh. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our flowers out. I'm just gonna sit this here. Okay, so I've got some tweezers here. I'm just adding in, I'm picking the flowers that
So for our newbies, how much resin do you use? Do you fill it all the way up? Do you not halfway?
I would
what do you like to say?
A quarter for the first layer.
Yeah.
But you want to cover the bottom surface. So you need to cover it, okay? So you want to make sure to cover it. But it also doesn't need to be full because we're going to be putting we're stacking layers here.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be putting a few different layers on. Oh, these flowers are so pretty. I think I want to use like this little Shasta daisy right here. Look how adorable. I'm a sucker for dried flowers. It's like one of my favorite, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite things of all time. And then that one's kind of pretty, but it's a little big. These red ones are kind of pretty too. Ooh. I don't know, it's not fitting the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my design. It's a little different from this one, but you know, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna turn our UV light on, and I like to hold it directly over it. And this usually takes like 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how strong your UV light is. It's really not. And so I'm just gonna hold it pretty close. You can actually like sit it on there. If you did casting resin, you can use whatever color molds. But with UV resin, you have to have that direct UV rays in order for it to cure fully, meaning it needs to harden. And if it doesn't have the UV rays touching it or getting to it, it's not gonna harden. So if you try to use UV resin in like a purple or a blue or a red mold, it's not gonna work. It has to be a clear mold. So obviously this mold is clear. It looks like it's covered in glitter, but the mold is glittery. Like the actual mold is glittery. So yeah, you're gonna want to make sure to do that. And then what I like to do is take my stick. Y'all, it's hardened. It's like magic.
I love it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then, so what I'm going to do now, so this is what it looks like so far, okay? I'm not going to take it out of the mold, but you can see the flowers like are still kind of sticking out, but they're pressed down enough into the resin that we can seal them in. So we're just going to take this resin and we're going to go over top of all of this, okay? And pretty much fill it all the way to the rest of the top, okay? So I'm going to try to be like consistent in my distribution of the resin just to make this more clean, because resin can get like lumpy and gross if you don't have a good like touch to it. So I'm gonna some resins are self-leveling, which is amazing, and some are not. It just depends on what your resin says. This one is like 50-50. I don't feel like it's completely self-leveling.
Right.
Even if it said it was. I don't know that it says it is, but and then I'm just getting the eye level like I said before.
Yes.
And spreading this out. We want to make sure that our flowers are covered, because if you do try to wash this and the flowers are sticking out.
Oh, they have to be covered.
Yeah, they have to.
Yep.
Or it's going to get ruined. So I'm just spreading this out. Now, if you accidentally go up on the edges at all, we have sandpaper in here, so we can sand down the edges, which sounds crazy, but it works great. When I first started doing resin, I was like, you sand it? That's weird. But it works really good. And I can actually put a little bit more on here, but what I'm gonna do is smooth this out. I'm gonna take my torch, cure it, and then do the third layer after I've cured it.
Love it.
Okay. In my opinion, when you do thin layers, it just works better. Like curing multiple layers. If you try to do it too thick and cure it, it won't cure sometimes. So you've got to really pay good attention. Okay. I'm going to sit that right there.
Any UV lights will work. It just depends on the stronger the light, the less time it's required. So just think about that when you're making a decision on that. How many nameplates can you make with that size resin bottle?
Oh, gosh.
Brianna, you could probably make 20?
Oh, at least.
At least. Like, it's not much at all. Yep.
With this size, listen, the limit does not exist.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm going to actually cut a name for this so I can show you all how to apply a name to the resin one.
Yes.
So we're just going to recut Courtney's name.
Okay.
Because you're going to do the same exact thing if you were laying out names for this one. So we're just going to go in here and delete that. We're going to go to Make It, and then hit Continue. We're still using just permanent vinyl. I'm going to use some of this scrap vinyl that we have in here. And it's nice because while it's curing, you can cut your words out. So it makes it really easy. And I think that white is going to be okay on here. Let's use purple.
And yes, if you're registered.
So we're just doing the same thing we did earlier. I'm using a purple resin to send through our Cricut.
Yep.
And then let's check and see if this is cured. I'm just using the same. Yeah.
So good.
It's already hardened. I love it. It's incredible. It goes so fast. And then I'm just going to take my gloves. We're going to add that top coat, and that really should be it, y'all. That should seal it in.
Yep.
Okay. So we're just squeezing.
Look at that.
And this is going to be our top layer. Okay. Take this, get it eye level. Sometimes you can even take your popsicle stick and kind of scrape it so
That's a good tip.
Yeah, it like smooths it out, especially if you filled it all the way to the top.
Right. I like sometimes even like take it and like kind of like not beat it, but like let it fall on the like to try to level it out, and then use the lighter to like get all the air bubbles out.
Yes.
I mean, this is a fun craft, y'all. Like this is so good. So good.
I love it. So if you all are going to be, if you all have never tried resin before, I want you to put a heart emoji.
Ooh.
I want to know who is here and has never tried resin. Drop a heart
let
emoji.
us know.
I would love to know.
We'd love to know.
Okay, and I'm just filling in any holes that might be there. And y'all, if you start and you're like, oh, mine didn't turn out good the first time, y'all, resin is something that you really kind of have to work at. But it's not hard, but they're just things that you have to learn to make it work right. So make sure you're following instructions on the bottle. Make sure you're following these tutorials to a T in order to get the results that you're wanting.
Love it.
Okay, and then we're just going to cure this last layer.
Yay.
While that's curing.
Welcome, Robin Smith. I just joined. Can't wait to learn. Yay. Welcome.
Okay, let's weed our word while we're waiting for that to cure. And I have a ton of dried flowers left over, and like you can buy those on Amazon and Temu and wherever. Okay, we're just gonna weed this. Put some transfer tape over it.
So fun.
I love it. This is kind of like an accent color, so it should stand out pretty good on those pink flowers. Does anyone have questions about resin?
They're dropping.
Okay. And then I'm still using that same transfer tape.
Y'all are awesome. So much fun getting to craft with you guys today.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So we're just gonna peel that off.
Yeah.
And then let's see if it's cured. I don't like to touch it with my hand because it leaves fingerprints.
Would you recommend this as a first time resin project? Yes, we totally would.
Definitely.
How long does the resin last, shelf life after it's open? Ours lasts forever. I mean, not ever, but like
depending on the brand you buy, sometimes they can like yellow and it's like they last, but they color.
How long would you confidently say?
A year.
A year. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, okay. That should be fully cured. Let's pull it out and see. If for some reason you pull something out of a mold and it's not cured, like I can tell this is a little bendy still, so that's giving not cured to me.
Right.
Like it's still, do you guys see how it's bendy? It's not fully cured. So let's just pop it back in.
Yes.
Just pop it right back in. And we're going to cure it a little bit more, okay?
Ooh.
And it's probably that first layer, to be honest. I may need to take it out and like cure it on the counter because I put that first layer in and then I put those flowers on it. So the UV light's not able to get to the underneath parts of the flowers as easily. So, Deb says, I like to dry my own flowers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun would that be? Like hand-picked
Love it.
dried flowers. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, so much fun.
I love it. So once we pull this out, sometimes there's little ridges, and that's what we're gonna use our sandpaper for. We just get this 220 grit sandpaper, and I'll literally just tear off like a little piece.
Not even much at all.
No, it'll like, I mean, you get like, I don't know, like 12 pieces in a pack.
Yeah. Everything. So good. Love it.
This is what it looks like before I sand it. So it looks a little wonky, okay? It's like the edges are very rigid.
Yes.
And you can see there's like pieces on it. So what we're gonna do is just take this sandpaper and lightly sand our edges. Okay.
Yes, it's looking awesome.
So cute. And then you can add the vinyl and put a layer of resin over top of that as well if you want.
Right.
Also be very aware of sanding the pointy edges. Like this is where it fills in the Stanley Cups. You don't want to sand that down.
Right.
But you do want to sand off the excess.
And you use the torch on each layer of the resin. Yeah, someone asked if it's only the first. It's each layer to make sure there's no bubbles or anything like that.
Yes, I used it on every.
So much fun. Can you put the name before the last layer of resin?
Yes,
that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to put it on there and then we'll just pop it back in the mold.
Yeah.
And then seal it in. So this purple is just what I had in here. I don't know that that's my number one choice. Uh-oh.
I like how you're giving so many options. Like if you just want to make this, you could order, the done for you ones and just add vinyl, things like that.
We wanted to have options because a lot of people don't like to work with resin. It can be very finicky.
Yes. Exactly.
I put my C too close to the edge and now my vinyl's messing up. Please hold. Oh my gosh. You know what? We'll just cut the T off for now. Core.
No worries.
We really cut it off.
Love it. Could you use Maker's Magic to seal vinyl instead of another layer of resin? Janice, you could. That's what I would probably do if I didn't have the resin. If I do have the resin, I would totally use the resin. The resin is just going to cure better, more professional. It's going to give you the better quality look. But it's nice to have other tools in our tool kit. Wendy, we were saying after opened, you would, we would say you have about a year of working time.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So fun.
Okay, so I'm putting like a light layer over the top of this.
So for our tumbler, it's a 40-ounce tumbler. So that's the one we're working with today. Love it.
I'm just gonna push this to the edges, so you really don't need like a thick layer. We're just filling it in.
We're using a 220 sandpaper.
Yes. Beautiful. I feel like everyone's been super pumped about this. I'm loving it. I hope that you all are inspired to try resin. It's just such a fun craft.
Yeah, this is going to be such a great one for you to try resin, guys. So fun.
It's an interesting way
we
to
love
use your
Maker's
Cricut.
Magic as a sealer too. So so much fun.
Okay. And then we will cure that.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the lighter over it.
Yay.
Always get the lighter on it. So go in.
Always need the lighter.
Always. Usually do like 3 or 4 passes. You really don't need that much. And that's all.
That's so much fun.
Phyllis says the more you work with resin, the easier it is. I 100% agree. And yes, storing it out of light is a very good point. Project is either buying the mold or making it or buy the pre-made. Correct. I wanted to give you guys some different options.
Yes.
Audrey, you could hold the light under the mold. It doesn't go through as strong as like you would think it does, but it does reach it to some extent.
Yeah.
It's not going to cure it as fast as it is with me like putting it right over top.
Will it help to put the lamp underneath the mold?
That's what.
Sorry, yeah, dang it, I was reading the comment and you're reading it too.
I think it definitely just put it on top.
Is the flame touching the resin? It can. I mean, it totally can. Like you're not gonna burn your resin.
I wish that you can really notice it with casting resin because when you spin it, it gets bubbly. And then when you pour it, there's so many bubbles and then they pop. Like as you heat it up, they just burst. But UV resin, you don't really have as much of an issue.
Love it. Grab it while you can. We'll get you the craft. Alicia.
All done.
Bring the Stanley over real fast. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Look, guys. I mean, come on.
Should we show them overhead?
Yeah, will you show them overhead and how it doesn't even touch, like, when you're drinking?
Oh my gosh,
like,
it's so cool.
Oh, I love it.
Look, so it's just, isn't that so fun?
Yay!
I love it.
So good.
And it does hover a little bit, but it looks good still, in my opinion. So cute.
I love that. Yes. I literally love this so much. What did you guys think of today's project?
Today's project is, so we took inspiration from some designer bags.
Yeah.
So some of my favorite designer bags, let me just say. The hand-painted version of these designer bags. And if you know designer bags, like you know where we got it from. And I don't even know that should we say like...
Sure.
So like we got inspiration from the hand-painted like Louis Vuitton bags because I loved how they had the blocking on the outside, like the colors, the blocking, go get it. The colors and the blocking and the monogram, my favorite. So I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And y'all, you can do this with your Cricut. You can do this with your Cricut.
And we're gonna show you how today.
Yes.
It is like initials.
Yes.
And so where they're all the same height, we did our initials in like first, middle, last instead of monogram order. But the colors that we chose, I'm pretty obsessed with. Now,
matches our little.
Yeah, I don't know that those are like Louis Vuitton colors.
No, you can like pick your own colors. I think when you get them like hand painted, but I just really love these colors together.
And this burlap bag is huge and sturdy and awesome, and that's from Amazon, linked below on YouTube.
We love it.
It's so fun.
And this is one that I think is going to be an absolute amazing like Christmas gift.
Yes, birthday gift.
Birthday gifts.
If you're going on like a bachelorette trip.
Oh my goodness.
Matching bags.
Me personally, I would rather someone get me this and get like just small little things to put in it as a gift and like one, you know what I'm saying? Like I love bags, first of all. I love bags. But anyway, this is would be an amazing Christmas gift, and Courtney's going to teach you how to do, and I don't know, you all can't see, and I'll show you, everybody will be able to see here in just a second, like how to do this offset with these letters. It's phenomenal. We love it.
This is what we're making. You can see it here on TikTok too. We love this. The colors we chose, I'm just obsessed with them. Okay, so let's go kind of over the supplies you're gonna need. We have our mini easy press, which is our favorite press to use on basically all of our HGV projects. To go along with that, we have a pressing pillow. This is very important for this project. I was trying to do it without the first time, and it is very needed, especially for this bag where there's like bumps and lumps inside. Okay, then we have 3 colors of HGV. You can pick your own colors. These are the colors that we have. I know this is navy, white, and I don't know the name of this, but some kind of like teal color.
I don't want to call it cerulean, but it's kind of
I've never even heard of that word.
You've never
Cerulean?
Cerulean blue.
Cerulean. No, I've never heard of that. That's very fancy. My project. And we'll you can go over to Design Space and show them what we're going to work on. I don't think I have my font downloaded, so I need to go and see what font it is. Okay, font is Vanessa, people. Sorry, we're regrouping. Over here in Design Space, you can see what our end result is, like our desired result in Design Space is right there. I'm going to show you all the steps of how to get there. But first, let's go on to makersgonnalearn.com and find the font Vanessa, because I don't think it's installed on this computer.
Did it show up that it wasn't?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We've downloaded that. Now we're installing it. Looks ready to go. Then we're going to go back into Design Space if we can find it here at the bottom. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to View, Force Reload. All right, now we're going to go overhead, I think. And if we have a tape measure, which we do.
I'm going to move these people over just a little bit too.
They're going to be really bored when I'm in Design Space. They can't see it at all.
I wonder if I could move it around.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll try that.
We're measuring our bag width-wise. We've got 18, and height So I want to be a little bit more particular about my height because I don't want my HTV down here. So, oops. Our height is going to be 13 point, what's the dash between a quarter and a half?
Between a quarter and a half?
Yeah.
3/8.
13 and 3/8. Okay, now
should be 13.
Go into design space.
375.
That sounds very right. Okay, we're gonna grab our rectangle, and we do this for almost every project that we make here at Maker's Gonna Learn. So the width we measured as 18, and a lot of times this just gives us the general direction.
Oh,
did you say 3.75? No, that's 3 3/4.
3.375.
375.
375.
3.375.
I'm trying to switch
is
it.
the height. All right, now I like to change this to the color
there it is.
of the bag.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just moving this around.
Okay. So I like this to resemble my blank, just so I can get a color visual too. And then I'm gonna have to cheat, guys, because I don't really remember the sizes that I made this. But
Oh gosh, I'm trying, guys.
You all to get it. I also feel like very unprepared, which I'm really sorry. I don't know why I feel that way. Okay.
It's because you've been off.
Yeah, this is like my first step back into work. Okay, so I measured my cheat, and we're gonna make ours 3.75 inches wide. That's gonna be our widest strip. Gosh, I really hope they can follow along with this. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock this, and for the height, I'm gonna make it 13.375 again. And the width is gonna be 5.75. 5.75. Okay, so this is my white stripe. I'm gonna go ahead and make it white. And then I'm going to duplicate it for our next stripe. First, I'm gonna change the color to navy. And I'm gonna have to cheat again. I'm sorry. I should have had these memorized. So I think that they are, all right. Okay.
So let's recap what you've just done.
I'm gonna recap for us. Because basically all I did is make rectangles.
So we have a bunch of rectangles.
Is the size of your base, which mine is 18 wide and 13.375 tall. Then I have my biggest stripe, which is the same height, but only 5.75 inches wide. Then half an inch, or sorry, 5.75. And then our next one is 4.5. So that's like, what's the difference there? Why?
Did you say 5.75 and 4.5? So it's
an inch and a quarter
difference.
An inch and a quarter difference. And then another inch and a quarter smaller. So only 3.25 wide. And then we're gonna go select them all and click align center. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Okay. Then we are going to add a place for our monogram here. So we're going to take a square and we're going to make it into a rectangle here. I am going to cheat again and see how big I made my space here. Just because I liked how this looked and I want everyone to have a good. So let's do 2.75.
Now, this is also something, go back and rewatch this and pause every time she gives you a dimension. Pause, type in that dimension, and then come back. Like, that's how I do, like I love to pause, do it, come back. So if you are getting confused, I promise once you get in there, go back and rewatch this video, pause it at those places, put those numbers in, because hearing a bunch of numbers sometimes can be very confusing to your brain.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's overwhelming.
So I chose my height for this. The width doesn't really matter, but the height of 2.75. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. And then I'm going to select all of them in my layers panel. And I'm going to, oh, I didn't select them. I used the wrong button. Okay, align, center them so they're all at the same place. I'm placing them around where I would like my letters to be, and I think that's pretty good space-wise. So then let's play in the layers panel. So I'm gonna select one of them and the white background, and I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna go to slice. You can also use the combine functions for this, but I just am more familiar with slice, so that's kind of where I feel comfortable.
Okay, Courtney, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Okay.
Because everyone else is going to ask you too.
Sure.
Why did you only choose 2 layers to slice, and why couldn't I just do it all at one time?
Because with slice, you can only do 1 at a time.
Okay.
So I deleted everything that I don't want here, and now I'm going to pull this down in my layers panel so that I can see what I'm working with again. Now I'm going to select one of these gray boxes and my navy. Go down to slice again. And in the layers panel, you can see you wouldn't want this. You don't need this. You don't need this. You just want this. So we're back to square one. Let's move this up. Oh, let's move this up and move this up. Okay. Then we're going to select this square again and the last middle piece, and we're going to go down and slice them. And in our layers panel, we're going to delete our extras so that we're left with this.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay. This does look like the end result that we are looking for. However, this is having everything layered on top of each other. So in the middle here, you would have 3 layers of HTV all on top of each other. We want it to be 1 layer. So now I need to slice everything out of the layers behind it. So bear with me, we can do this. I'm gonna take this first top layer, which is this one here, and the one behind it, and I'm going to go down and I'm gonna click slice.
Okay, top layer, middle layer, slice.
Now let's kind of pull them apart a little bit. We've got this one, which we want. We got this one, which we do not want. So we're deleting that. And then we have these side pieces, which we do want. So I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna center these, and we can use our center button again at the end. And honestly, it doesn't really matter if it's centered on Design Space. Then, I feel like I should have done that other way.
No, it's okay. You can still do it this way.
I'm gonna select the navy here, which goes right on top of the white. I'm gonna select that white, go down to slice, and then we gotta see what we have again. So we're gonna pull it apart. We want this navy stripe. We do not want this. And this white has the blue, what is that?
It has the insides, which we don't want.
Right.
So what you can do,
This needs to go.
Nope, go down to contour.
Where's this though? I think I need to get rid of that. Okay. So now we're gonna go to contour, because this has the mid. It was a little off somehow.
Let's just go back.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
start
gonna go
over.
back. We're gonna back it up.
Okay.
Where?
I think you need to center everything first and then.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and center. I'm gonna keep backing up.
Okay.
There we go. So we're back to before we did everything. We need to center this all up. Align, center. Perfect. I could see it was off a little bit. Now I'm gonna take this navy and I'm gonna slice it out of the white. So I'm gonna go down here and click slice. And now we have to pull apart what we have. So here, we're getting rid of this middle white piece, and we're gonna place this back. Let's go ahead and align everything center again. Oops, I aligned it at the bottom, align center. Okay, then I need to pull this in front, so it still looks how we want. We need to slice this top layer out of the bottom layer. Go ahead and click slice. Carol, you can totally cut them longer and fold them over the top. Okay, so I'm getting rid of this middle navy piece, and we finally have what we were desiring. So we have this center piece, a little extra navy on the sides with a little extra white on the sides. I'm going to select it all one last time and align it center. So there we have that. Now let's go ahead and work with our font. So I just click text on the left side, and I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to type in the initials that we want to use. This is kind of a monogram, but it's more so just initials because they're all the same height. So I did first, middle, and last of the person that I'm making it for. And then I'm going to go up to system because that's where the maker's going to learn fonts are. And I remember the font name is Vanessa, which we installed already. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'm going to make it bigger to fill the space better. I'm zooming in because I want to see closer what's going on. Whoops. Okay. So it looks to me like I want to ungroup these and space them out how I want them. Because that A was too close to the L for me.
Agreed.
So after I do that, I actually think that I want to move the M a little bit. And I found that the layers panel is really helpful, especially with the new updates, about moving everything.
Oh, for sure.
Because like sometimes, whoops, if I'm clicking on this L, okay, it worked that time. But literally I was trying to click on this M earlier and it was clicking on something behind it. So when you can go find it in your layers, that makes it a lot easier. All right, so with this, I am going to group these together. And now I'm gonna make an offset, but like a very tiny offset. Like
this is also
barely an
somewhere
offset.
where I love to work with the numbers.
Yeah, because you can change this to like 0.3, where with the toggle, you're not gonna be able to do that, or 0.03. So that's what I'm gonna do there. And then I'm gonna change these to the colors that I want them to. So the top layer, which is the smaller one, I'm gonna do in navy. And then the bottom layer, I'm gonna do, which is the offset, I'm gonna do in white. And that looks fine, but that's not exactly how I want it. I want it kind of off to the side and down a little for this kind of look, which is what I'm going for. So then I'm gonna select what I've got here, not this square. What is happening? Center it up some more, okay? And then back out. All right, so there is what we have, and we are finally ready. I hope that you were able to follow along a little bit here, but if not, just kind of, if you think about it, think what your end goal is, and if you know Design Space, how you're gonna get there. Because that's basically what I did, and I think that if the tutorial isn't like super easy to follow for you, that doing it that way like would just really help you a lot. So, all right, we're gonna go from here, and I need
We're
to
back here.
delete this example.
Oh, that shine is just not cool.
And then we're gonna hide this because we're not actually cutting out the background. And now we're ready to click Make It. we always cut on a mat here, and choose your mat size. We're going to cut on a 12 by 24 mat because it is longer than 12 inches. So I'm gonna need a mat.
Okay, will do.
Confirmed.
Got that.
Okay. Now, to save some vinyl here, I'm going to cut this out in the middle here. Actually, I think I don't want to do that. I'm just going to place it next to it this way to save a little bit of vinyl. Now I'm checking on my other things. Oops. Those are not attached. Cancel this. Okay. Just because these letters are grouped does not mean that they're attached. So their spacing on the mat would be wrong. So go ahead and click attach to those. That way, and then the offset is already done. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Confirm. I'm gonna flip this around.
You can.
And guys, we're using HTV. So what do you think my next step should be? Anybody have a recommendation?
Me.
What is it, Lauren?
Mirror.
Okay, I've got my mirror on now. All right, perfect. This, I want to move it. Okay. Okay, this looks good. That's mirrored, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, it's not. Click it right
Oh, okay.
It didn't mirror all.
Gotcha. All right. Now we're gonna continue on there. Select our Cricut device. That's not on. And we will prepare our mat. I bet my Easy Press turned off, so I'm gonna turn that back on. We're gonna start at the top.
There we go.
Which is our white. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how much we need. Probably about, 14 inches would be good. So I'm gonna line it up at 14. And we're going shiny side down with this because the shiny side is the transfer sheet. So we want that on the bottom. I'm looking for an X-Acto knife.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. I'm not gonna give her 2 seconds. We're gonna use some scissors. Thank you, ma'am. All right, white is ready to go. And we're gonna load this into the mat, or into the Cricut. Load the mat into the Cricut. Get it together.
There's that if you need that as well.
Back in Design Space, we need to click Everyday Iron On. We'll leave it at default pressure. And we're loading that in.
Okay, guys, I've been, let's see, let me go back to the chats. Let me get the chats. Pop these chats out real quick. Is there any way of grabbing all 3 letters and have them all center correctly? Yes, you can do that. You can actually distribute them horizontally and then also center them, or make them sit on the same line. You can do that, and that's something that we can show you later. We can't right now since we're in the middle of this craft, but we can show you later.
All right, I'm gonna take this off the mat and then go ahead and load my next color in. Sharon
said, so I must have Design Space to use my Cricut. Yes, you do have to have Design Space software to use your Cricut, but Design Space software is free. You don't have to have Cricut access. But I feel like a lot of times Cricut makes a lot of their consumers, a lot of the people who buy the Cricut machines, they make them think that they have to have Cricut access. Cricut access and Cricut Design Space are 2 totally separate things. Cricut Design Space is a free designing software. Does not cost you a dime. Cricut Access just gives you access to the files, some of the files that they have within Cricut Design Space. So there is a big difference between just Design Space and Cricut Access. So, Joy said since I did the update, my Maker 3 is no longer connecting via Bluetooth to my MacBook Pro. I would definitely go into my settings and check the settings because I feel like a lot of settings got changed. So I would definitely go in there and check those settings out.
All right, I'm going ahead and weeding this while the other cuts.
I'm gonna come over here and check out the Tic Tac real quick.
Do we have anyone left?
Yeah, we've still got 10 people, or it
Okay.
says we have 10.
Oh.
It got up to like 30 something at one point.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
And then back down.
sorry I couldn't keep their attention. It's not our normal crowd, you know? They probably had no idea what they were tuning into.
Yeah, I mean, we're learning this as well.
Yep.
This is our first time going live on TikTok.
Ever. Right?
Yeah, ever.
And we're doing another live stream at the same time. We're pretty ambitious.
Yeah, live streaming YouTube and TikTok.
Okay, I cut apart my letters and my stripes, and this one is ready to be unloaded.
Oh, somebody did comment on the TikTok and said you're doing well. You're doing so well.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, so let's get our navy. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby today because we had run out. And it's very interesting. It says lower temp, less time.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was the only one, so I don't know, like, I guess they're just going for that on all of their stuff. I don't really know.
So Daisy asks, should I have my design space on beta or live? I would personally go with the live version of Design Space just because I feel like it's a lot less glitchy. I feel like there are some times when you are working in beta that it can be kind of glitchy because like I said, I have said this before, beta is like they're testing with the consumers. So there is an alpha version, which is tested in-house. That's where they test new features in-house with people who work with Cricut, their engineers, things like that. And then once they feel like it's okay, it's pretty good to go, they'll put it into beta testing. And then beta testing is where you as the consumer can test some of the new features that they may have. Now, one thing that I think is very, very important if you do want to work in beta, because sometimes there are features in beta that are not in live that you may want to try and test out. One thing, if you are working in the beta version of Cricut Design Space, if you do see something that is glitchy and something that you have an issue with, there is a place to go in there and report an issue. And that is so important for you to do that as a consumer, to report that issue so that they can get those bugs worked out before that version does go live. However, 9 times out of 10, we're going to be working in the live version of Design Space and not the beta version unless we kind of hear through the grapevine, hey, there's a new feature that you need to try out. It's in the beta version, you know? Mm-hmm. So, there was someone else that said, oh, Kelly asked, is there any way to be able to put 2 projects from the My Projects section on the canvas at the same time? Unfortunately, no, there is not. That's where I was saying I wish and it may be the way that they're going, the route that they're going. This is just the first step to get there. I think that with the tabs on the top that eventually we're gonna see Design Space where you can have multiple canvases open at one time and then toggle between those tabs.
Yeah, that would
where
be
you
really
could
cool.
do that, but right now we can't.
Okay, I really should have tested this one out before I unloaded it. It seems very thick.
Oh no.
But it weeded. It weeded. Okay,
Beautiful.
We're fine.
That's all we need.
Okie dokie. Ooh, this definitely feels different, this iron-on. Different than any iron-on I've ever felt.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I guess we're going to see how it works.
It's very plasticky.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But very matte.
Huh.
This is... Huh.
Well, we're going to have shiny, matte, shiny. It'll be good. It'll be fine.
It doesn't say matte. It doesn't say that it's matte.
Huh.
I like matte. Maybe when it presses, it's not matte.
So we did have someone say that I have been able to open a project, copy that project, and then open a second project and paste it into that, but only on a computer and not on mobile. That is a workaround for that, to moving projects onto one canvas together. You can do that. It's totally doable. I just really wish that we could have, and I think I mean, if anybody works at Cricut and you're watching us live, that is my official request. I would love to have multiple tabs so I can work on multiple things at one time. But then in the same breath, like, Courtney's going to have 30 tabs open when she's working in Cricut, if that's the case.
Undoubtedly. Until my Cricut design space won't work anymore, my computer won't work, I will just keep opening new tabs.
Yep.
Okie dokie. We got our bag. Does anybody
It's
see my
underneath
pillow?
the other bag.
Okay. Found my pillow. So we're gonna place this inside. Right there in the middle. Looks very lumpy. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna use this as the back, I think. Oh, it is the back. Okay. This side looks
We did have a question here on TikTok. Cricut can't go between designs. So you can open up new windows. You can open up a new window with Cricut and go between the windows, but you can't go between different designs like you can in Silhouette Design Space. And then they ask, Cricut users can use Silhouette Design Space. You can use it to design in, but you can't use it to actually cut. You would have to use like the business version and either save the SVG, or you can save it and then open it in Cricut Design Space, but you can't cut from Silhouette Design Studio on a Cricut. But I think you understand that.
Okay guys, I'm doing white first. You want to do your widest first and center it between your handles. Just like this.
Beautiful.
Okay, like that. Then we're coming in here with our mini easy press.
Oh, wow.
What?
Joy contacted Cricut, and they said that the recent Sonoma update is not compatible with the recent Design Space update, which is preventing Bluetooth connection to a MacBook Pro. That is, which I normally don't use my Cricut via Bluetooth, but that is super interesting because I did update my computer to the new Sonoma, and I think I'm the only one in the office that did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't update unless they make me.
Now that I think about it, I feel like I may have tried to connect via Bluetooth the other day, and I was like, it's not letting me. So, interesting.
Okay, we're getting somewhere here. You know when your iron-on is like ready to be peeled up because you'll see bubbles. And with this bag, you'll actually see some texture of the bag through the iron-on too.
But with this, I honestly don't mind it because I feel like that makes it look truly like hand-painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so same with the MacBook. You can open a couple different windows and use Cricut Design Space in different windows. Yes, that is possible. I would just personally like to be able to have one window open and have multiple tabs in that program.
Okay, I'm gonna cut these apart because I'm noticing that it's not lining up perfect, and I think it's just where there was like where the transfer tape folded or it stretched or something like that, which I did have to do on my original too. So,
and honestly, like once you have your first layer down, that is something like disconnecting the two sides is going to really make a difference.
Yeah, you do not want your stuff to be crooked on here or like have gaps or anything like that. Okay. I'm even going to cut these apart like this. Get that where it needs to be.
So like me watching you do this automatically with me being, you know, the penny pincher that I am.
I know.
You knew where I was going with that.
And I had the same thought too.
So like what we for sure want to keep our widest layer, whether that be a white layer or a different color layer, but your wide, W-I-D-E, widest layer needs to stay attached together. Your other layers.
You could do it the other way, don't you think? Like do your middle strip and then build off of the middle.
You could, but I feel like it's easier to center your wide layers and work in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, if you're comfortable with starting from the center, really and truly, you can save lots of vinyl and just not attach any of the outside strips, because that center strip obviously has to cut out the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. You might have seen me if you were watching. I'm not sure if it was overhead at the time. But I had this middle strip on like this, and I kind of messed up. So I want you to learn from my mistakes. I had this here. I was ironing it on, and I went over here to iron the side, and my white and navy were not covered by a protective covering. So it melted the HTV a little bit. So when you're doing your center strip and the cover is not covering everything, go back and get your cover from your white layer, the biggest layer, and layer it on top too. It'll still be enough heat through both protective layers, but you need to protect your other layers. So I just wanted everyone to be able to see that real quick. And this one too, I'm about to put this down here in the middle. And none of this is covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little cover here and cover the top too.
Now, this is something that can be done with leftover carrier sheet. It also can be done with Teflon sheets too, either one.
Yeah. We just don't really want direct heat.
We just really like using leftover carrier sheets, honestly.
Yeah. Because they stick too, which is helpful. The Teflon, you kind of have to hold it in place. All right, I'm seeing bubbles. I'm seeing texture. That's good. I'm going to try to leave this laying down. I'm looking for my letters. Here they are. Okay.
What else do you need?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how I lined this up. Just like so. It's an offset a little bit. There's also a piece of tape on here. I think it's going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. But that heat helped me roll it up. Okay. Back in position. Heating. So what are you guys thinking of this project? I know it was probably a little confusing at first, but do you think it's worth the extra design space work for this?
Oh, for sure. I do.
I do. Honestly, it was a little confusing for me trying to figure it all out. So I totally understand. But I think that once you get it, you are going to be obsessed. Your people you're gifting them to are going to be obsessed.
Even more obsessed.
If you sell stuff, I think it's sellable.
So sellable. So sellable.
Yeah. So
customizable.
I love it. It's pretty awesome. I'm really glad that we got to make this project because it was like one of those ones that we weren't sure if we were going to do it or not.
Yeah, so it's actually been on the agenda for us to do for a while, which is kind of why this is a canvas bag, because it looks kind of a little bit beachy.
Summery, yeah.
Summery, because we've had these for a little while, so this is why, I mean, we were super kind of unsure about it, and then I was like, you know what, Courtney, I think you can do it. I think you're going to rock it, and I'm telling you she did.
So Kelly is asking our thoughts on the 504 vinyl. It's very interesting. I want you to feel it.
Okay.
You want to come over here?
Yeah, I'll come feel it.
It's matte. It cut nicely, it weeded nicely, it applied nicely. It definitely has a different feel to it.
It feels like
something.
Give me a second. What is
like
it? Like
silicone almost.
Yes, very like that. Yeah, it feels very kind of like silicone.
And then feel it like what we did off.
You can see a big difference. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Like, but honestly, let's look at these side by side overhead.
And it's pretty thick before it has a thicker carrier sheet.
Yeah, it does. I want to fold this in. Can they see this, Sadie? I really like the matte though. Like,
I know.
The matte looks so good.
It looks different than the rest. So this kind of looks more like one piece.
Yeah.
Where this, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. And now that I've got these side by side, I don't know. Do you start with the inside and work out?
Maybe you do.
Either way, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Either way, it looks really good. Really, really good.